All right, you guys want to play some Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that what we're playing
absolutely.
tonight?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You probably want to pop open the world map because you aren't actually in a town yet.
World map question mark. It's under images. Uncategorize.
It's like a map of the world.
Sort of.
Any of you guys seen Food Wars?
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it, but I haven't watched it. No.
It's fucking hilarious. I really like it, but it's like someone should tell the writer that food porn is a metaphor.
Gotcha.
You know what?
It's a fan service anime. I hadn't realized.
Oh yeah,
That is a
Also-
funny topic for a fan service anime.
the food makes everyone naked.
Oh my god.
Well, because it touches your soul, right? It's
I get it. It's fucking ridiculous.
They eat stuff and they get the fucking hashes across their cheeks and the pink and then
Right.
they're naked
Yep. Oh,
and being
yeah.
like inundated with whatever the food is, like being
Don't
washed,
forget to hit the
washed
top
in
right
it.
corner, Omi. Top
Oh
right
yeah, you
corner.
probably want to make that map your desktop so it doesn't cover all your
Yeah.
other shit.
Also, question, Snipe.
Yeah.
On the map, when it's black, the gray-white thing lines are really nice and clearly visible.
Are we on a
Sure.
wagon journey?
There's a way to turn the world ones once we've discovered those areas something other, because right now they are really hard to see, and I can only imagine how much worse it'd be on, say, a white background.
Not lighting.
Oh, it changes all of them whether we found it or not. That's that should be two separate categories.
Well, there's just a grid layer.
Yes,
I
I'm
agree
crying
with the
over here,
bird.
Omi.
What was that?
I said I agree with the bird.
Yeah. Yep. So there's really not a good way to make it actually work in both settings.
Are we on horses?
No.
No.
No, we were actually camping the last time we played, sir.
Yeah, and
Camping,
we
okay.
had an interesting sort of thing that we kind of forgot to talk about in wrapping up. So,
Oh, that's not bad.
You're going to talk about identification.
yeah, who in the party has actually got Arcana as a skill?
I mean, I'm technically trained in looking at Arcana stuff.
+1 in Arcana.
+2.
No, I mean proficient.
Yeah,
I
not-
am
yeah.
proficient.
Yeah, it's Watson and YOLO.
yeah. My
Okay.
proficiencies are in insight, perception, persuasion, and religion.
So you guys would be able to identify the magic of these magic items during the long rest. Normally it would be one item per short rest, but you know, you gotta rest for 8 out of a 12-hour long rest. No big deal. Time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's still 1 hour an item, and there's only 4 items. So.
Yeah. So actually there's 5 items, and the potions would use the alchemy kit, which has a component that's specifically about identifying, you know, the materials of the potion and what it's about. So I would hand the potions back over to Watson, and while you guys do your identify party, I would probably be you know,
Give guidance and assistance.
oh yeah, that is right, I would have been giving you guidance. I don't actually have the ability to give assistance on that because I'm not proficient in Arcana, so I would be giving guidance. If you guys are doing all 4 or all 5 items together, I guess
Kind of.
I guess that, you know, you'd be able to give each other advantage to some extent here and there.
Right. But depends on what roles Mr. Snipe wants me to do.
Yeah. So first question, who has proficiency in alchemy?
I believe Watts has alchemist tools, right?
He has
Um,
brewer's supplies. I don't
yeah,
see alchemist tools.
I have brewer, not alchemy.
I mean, he
Oh.
does have some tools that he got from the, or one of you does at least, from the wizard's tower.
Those will
But he
make
doesn't.
excellent liqueurs.
Right. But you don't actually have proficiency, right?
Not yet. I'm a cook and brewer. So it doesn't really say what my specialty of brewing is.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably squint and use brewer's supplies. I mean, from a 21st century standpoint, all of the tools you would need to investigate a potion without imbibing it
They're
are the
not
same
too
tools
different.
a brewer would use. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, to analyze what they made, your hygrometer, etc.
Yeah.
exactly right. So, like, I could see, I could see maybe letting that one go that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. In that case, what item do you guys want to start with, and which of you is going to make the actual attempt?
Start with my hat.
Okay.
Okay. So there are a couple of things that I kind of didn't go over when I described the helmet to you originally. Engraven on the sides of the helmet, and in fact, more like I guess embossed ? Because they're in relief, but there are like ridiculously pointy, obviously stylized elf ears uh, on the sides of this sort of like bucket helm.
Cute.
As you set you set to investigating the object, it occurs to you that that's kind of like where where you get a sense of like exchange of energy from the helmet, which kind of leads you to investigate a little bit, and you realize that this probably acts as some sort of like assistance in language, which you can experiment with if other members of the party want to speak in languages you don't have.
Speak to me in your tongues.
Watts has a bunch of books in Elvish, right?
It's
Most
my
likely, it is
ears, not my eyes.
specifically a spoken way. If I remember correctly, one of the people was a excellent negotiator. He would want to be able to understand any spoken language at any given time. So possibly that helm's giving you the ability to understand any language spoken, as well as speak in any language. Hence why it goes over your entire head.
What did Watson say?
What he said was trees, man. And then Jory was like, I mean, your mother, and all that implies.
Thank you.
But no,
So I know what they're saying.
Yeah, and you realize that's because what you're holding is a helm of comprehending languages.
Awesome.
I
Does
wonder
that
if you
mean
can
you can
comprehend
speak it?
when I'm an animal.
With this helmet, I shall play the dumbass. But the dumbass shall know all.
Yeah, so the way comprehend languages works is for the duration you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute to read one page of text.
Those are
Me?
subciphers in the text there.
The spell doesn't decode secret messages in a text or a glyph, such as an arcane sigil, that isn't part of a written language.
nifty.
Garbage
I
in,
can
garbage out.
actually read stuff too.
Those are legit substitution ciphers.
Oh, you mean the fonts? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not even substitution ciphers, they're just a font.
Right. Okay, fair enough. But they are.
That said, if you copy it to the clipboard and you don't have the language,
Oh, it will just give you the text.
it doesn't. It gives you gibberish.
Really?
Yeah.
they're still 1-to-1. Like that's a
Oh
subset.
yeah, if you had that font on your machine, you could figure out what that said without really working at it. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
looking at it right now. Like I know what I typed there, and I can say it's 1-to-1.
yeah,
The only place it
just
gets funny
it
is
is just a font, right?
in the Celestial. The font for S is 2 characters that seem to be not linked, but they are.
Right.
Okay, so that takes care of one item. Since Jory had such issues with it last time, let's check out those horseshoes.
You're a horseshoe.
Okay. This one's tougher. Because there's no like
Blacksmith.
easy way to infer its properties. So I am gonna need an Arcana check explicitly for this one.
Okay, I have a +4 to Arcana. What do you have?
That's probably you that's gonna do that, because I think YOLO, you're +2, right?
I only got a +2.
So you should probably assist him on this one, and then I'll provide the guidance as well for an extra.
Actually, he's good anyway.
Well, all right.
All right, so the only real clue to what these things are, other than like feeling the shape of the mana that they interact with, is that there are some glyphs printed on the side, which YOLO can confirm for you are magical and not a language, in that they're indecipherable to him. However, you can kind of use that as a point of your investigation, and so you can given what you know about mana, you can sort of like pour some power into particular runes and not others, and see how that changes your sense of the object. So in doing so, you realize that these are accelerators, I guess would be the best way to put it. They seem to like vibrate with a kind of potential energy. And you realize, placed on the feet of a horse or a horse-like object, they would probably make it very fleet of foot.
Or a horse-like object. That's an interesting observation.
Yeah, and in fact, they are horseshoes of speed.
Interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
If you knew 2 Minotaurs, could you split up the set between the 2 of them, put them on their feet, and make them fucking
Maybe
juggernauts?
if they stayed in very close proximity, like if they held hands, like fucking Red Rover,
shit.
that shit.
Red Rover? Oh my god, that's an anime attack.
Well,
they're strong individually, but when they're together, Red Rover.
No, it's those like 3-legged sack race things that you do at the county fair.
Right.
For sure.
That's great.
Oh god. I'm just gonna sit over here and face palm. Okay, so I guess the next one would be the potion and the poison. One's very obviously a poison. It's sealed. I don't need to know that it's a poison more than it's a poison.
No, it might just evaporate quickly.
Which of you is holding those potions?
I was holding them, but I've handed them to Watts.
Right, but I mean, like in the character sheet, they're in your inventory, right?
Yeah, they should.
Which one of you is irradiated and takes the testicle damage?
Right. Which one of you is already poisoned? I mean, what was I saying?
God.
So there are 2 potions, a sort of like bluish potion that seems like it's always boiling, and a sort of like lightish red potion that's kind of like it's also
pink.
bubbling, but it looks more like a soda. You know what I mean?
It's lightish red.
It's like
like
effervescent rather than boiling.
Like a cherry 7-Up.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Or like a was that a Shirley Temple or is that a
Shirley
Roy
Temple?
Rogers?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Roy Rogers is cola.
Okay,
That's what Shirley
so
Temple.
I would need to do like a medicine check using my tools with advantage, quote unquote.
So proficiency in a tool will add +2. It won't give you advantage.
I read recently that if you
Okay.
taste it, it'll just reveal the nature to you.
But yeah, medicine would work. But I will also take. Well, actually, medicine's an int skill, right?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah, it's
okay.
whiz.
I will also take an int-based solution then. If you
Nature.
Like investigation.
Yeah, investigation probably would work.
I'm gonna go with medicine because I have the better rolls in there.
Oh yeah, well that'll do it. I mean, like
Very
because your
nice.
tools would add another +2 on top of that. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that's why I have a +8 because
Oh, got
little-
it. Cool.
I feel like it's a little bit creepy that the Candyman is doing the medicine checks.
no, it's Candyman in quotes. That's the
Right?
part that you were missing, right?
That's
Like-
that's the part I'm pointing out. In fact,
I can't help it that it's such a sweet deal. Like it's
sweet deal, right?
Yep.
Don't touch my
Didn't
Tylenol,
Sammy
okay,
Davis Jr.
Candyman?
sing a song about you?
Right? Oh yeah.
What's Phelan saying?
Yeah. He said that your face is testicle damage.
That was in response to
Wow.
Omi saying something about testicle damage.
I didn't say anything about testicle damage.
Who said something?
Okay, do I need to
Somebody
roll
did.
again for the other potion, or did that take care of both of them?
Actually, that would be the first one. So which one did you look at first?
The not sealed one that's in the cool decanter.
Yeah,
Who
you
can
said
take a
irradiated testicle
rainstorm?
damage.
Turn it into sun.
Okay.
Who can take a prison sentence? turn
Because you
it
said
into
one of them
fun?
was
The
like wax
Candyman
sealed, and the
can.
other one was in a like a rapid fire quick bomb.
Candyman can because he mixes
Right.
it
Shush, you two.
with bong.
It makes the world
Hey, shush,
seem light.
shush.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that would be the blue potion then, if I recall correctly. Okay. So there are a few things that you can learn immediately with your tools. One, it is not as dense as water, implying that it has some kind of alcohol base. Two, it is absolutely not poisonous. Three, its effect is probably not accomplished chemically, but rather magically, which is to say that it is absolutely an alchemical potion, not a tincture or snake oil. And then finally, what's the best way to describe how you would figure this out? Finally, you realize that it interacts with silver in a way that implies that there is some sort of um, radiant-based effect.
It's
here.
holy water?
That might even be one of the ingredients. But what you realize is that it's probably designed to impart some sort of positive effect to its drinker. And that effect is probably not, like dragon's breath or something specific, but more like a benevolent enhancement. More like a buff, to use MMO terms, right?
Protecting
than
effect.
than granting an ability, right? So after, considering this and considering what you know about what the ingredients are, and you realize that it probably gets its blue color from some sort of interaction with elemental silver rather than through some sort of plant-based ingredient. And that it's probably a catalytic reaction. All of that said, what you realize is that it's basically bless in a bottle. Let's call it a potion of heroism.
Very cool. I was actually about to say that started to sound a lot like the heroism potion, but I was like,
All right, you still have the other bottle, however.
okay. +2, medicine again.
Yep. I was gonna say you're gonna want to try that guidance. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. So this one actually, there's really no good way to investigate it without opening it. So you prise off the sealant. You open it, and you immediately get a whiff out of the bottle of like roses and lavender and lilac and lust. um, yeah, you realize it's probably like calling it a poison may not be entirely accurate
You
because it won't
immediately have a
kill you,
boner.
but it's definitely like a love potion.
Right, you open it up, and you're just like, boy, oy.
Right, let's call that a filter of love.
Viagra form potion.
Here's the trick, though. The person who drinks it is the one who's going to be affected.
Right, so it's
So,
Funky Cold Medina.
right, exactly. It's the Spanish fly. Yeah. So like I said, it kind of is a poison. Like you could tell why it was so carefully, sealed away and preserved. It's not a thing that you would want to accidentally dose yourself with.
Yeah,
Your
that is
coworkers would not
totally.
appreciate that.
I'm sure that it has the adverse effect of like forced friendship or anything. Like once the imbiber is now sober, they're going to hate you.
You're right. It's basically charm in a bottle. In fact.
Yeah.
Root,
It's one of those sort of things where, you've been captured and it's like you're holding on to this bottle and it's like, oh no, this was my potion of quickness. I was about to escape. Why, you shouldn't drink it right in front of me to spite me. Like, oh yeah? Well, fuck you, I'm gonna drink it in front of you. Oh my god, I love you.
Okay. So there's the horseshoes, the potions. What's left? I gotta.
You guys also did the helmet. There are the beads.
That is true. Would that be an Arcana check or religion?
The beads would be an Arcana check, actually, or religion. Either of those would work. Who's holding on to those, by the way?
I'm wearing them actually.
Oh, perfect.
Because they felt very prayer beatery type thing, so I figured like I could do some of the monk type prayers with them. Let's go. Oh, that's gonna be a whiff.
Yeah, you're gonna help him with that, right, YOLO?
Yeah. Right?
Totally.
Nice.
I mean,
okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So between the two of you, you actually kind of work it out, and in fact, the way you work it out, you look at each bead, and they seem to be like featureless, almost like onyx, like featureless black spheres. And in fact, it's YOLO that points out that there's like calling them beads is maybe not even right because there's no visible like center hole that the string connecting them together like would go through. It's almost like beads and string are all one object.
Weird. Are there like shells or like egg sacs?
And while trying to demonstrate that, Verde goes to pluck one. Like sort of like like you would like if you were going to snap a rubber band on somebody's wrist, and the bead comes right off the line into his hand.
Oh shit!
You realize
far away.
These are magical, obviously, and that they're designed to be removed from the string. So you put it back, and it immediately reassumes its position back on the string. While it was off the string, however, it seemed like it had a sort of like building pressure. Almost like the air around it was getting denser.
It was gonna blow
up. Which you realize probably means that it was building up to some sort of magical reaction, and that in fact that you're probably looking at something akin to like magical thermal detonators.
Yep. Grenades.
Oh, beads of force.
Yeah, more specifically, what you're looking at is a bracelet of beads of force.
Schmancy. Okay. I have another ranged attack then. I'll try not to kill people.
I have a cool idea for a name of a band.
Beads of Force.
Well, yeah.
Was that everything, or are we missing one?
I technically have a fungus wand.
Is that what you call it?
Fungus wand?
It's
A mushroom-headed warrior.
no, it's in my inventory. Like,
I mean,
Right, well, I
where
know
else
that
would you
there
put it?
was the wooden wand that the wizard's corpse had that you're holding, but I don't remember a fungus wand.
there's a wand parentheses fungus.
Yeah, I don't know what that is what I'm telling you.
It's just a very large phallic mushroom.
Okay.
Wooden wand of the wizard, by the way, is very alliterative.
The wizard's wooden wand.
The wizard's wooden wand,
That's actually the name of a brothel in Waterdeep.
right? Boy, they have an apothecary up front. I mean, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So if you look down at the bottom of your inventory, there is also the wooden wand,
Right.
which is absolutely a thing that I know that you recovered, and you have yet to identify.
And it is mushroom.
Yes, that's
shaped.
actually what I was going to go through there. Of us looking through, there's that. There's also the gemstone that we recovered from the pump plant.
Yep, that is also true. Yeah. So yeah, we can do both of those. I still don't know what your turgid wand though is about.
It appeared in my inventory. I don't. We're not sober, man. Come on,
Yeah,
we're no.
I'm scared. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Those are obviously Arcana checks.
Yeah. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do the wand.
Alrighty.
Indeed. Let us do the wand.
And I know shit.
Well, you still have guidance, don't you?
Yep. Did I mention shit?
Okay. Yep. So yeah, you're not gonna get a full ID out of this. There are a couple of things that you do know about it, though, just from your investigation at all.
Wait, you can't get assistance?
It didn't help in this particular case.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so there are a couple of things that you do know. You could use this wand as an arcane focus. That's obvious just from the way it interacts with mana. In your hand, it sort of feels warm, and it almost seems to like. I mean, now that we were talking about your fungus wand, I feel bad about saying pulse, but it almost seems to like pulse or throb in time with your heartbeat.
It's the wizard's Woody.
Expecto Patronus.
It just, implying that there is some connection to its wielder. So it's obviously
Penisonis.
Magic of some kind.
Creation magic, clearly.
You can try casting a spell with it.
How would you do that exactly?
A copy a Harry Potter spell.
Unfortunately, my paranoia makes it where I won't do that.
Understandable.
Because my luck, it's a wand of wonder.
Oh my god.
Right. Fair. That's a fair cop. It doesn't feel that powerful, but you never know.
Doesn't feel like a wand of wonder, but you never know until you actually engage the power word.
Exactly. Speaking of, it's not engraved with any like words or anything like that. You can tell that it's worked, and it's very fine craftsmanship for a stick. But it doesn't seem to be like signed by a maker's mark or anything.
there's like nothing even remotely like distinguishable beyond that.
Oh no, yeah, sorry. I thought I had described this to you before. I apologize. So if you actually like look at the wand itself, it's got this like all around its handles. Its handle is a like sort of spiraling helix of ivy vines, and they go all the way, from
ivy.
the sort of like I guess you would call it a guard, which is I guess a weird way to put it, but like from the burl that you would index your first finger on down to the pommel of the wand is this spiral of ivy, and it sort of like ends in a like carved wooden like I guess a flower. I mean, it's hard to say. It looks like ivy leaves really, but they're kind of like done up like they're holding something.
Like a Brussels sprout.
Yeah, kind of. And if you look, there is a green, sorry, a blue crystal that sort of like seems to scintillate with its own sort of like light, sort of nestled in the bottom of that bloom.
Also radioactive.
It doesn't glow exactly. It scintillates.
Sure. Scintillate. That's a funny word that you use there.
Right?
What's another word for a Geiger counter?
It might scintillate more in the presence of other things. I don't know.
Is it a scintillation counter? I'm just gonna throw that on the table. Is that a thing that you've heard of?
Yeah, something that would count the scintillations in a crystal of some sort.
Maybe the sort of shit that's being thrown off by the magic of the crystal.
Okay, so there wouldn't by chance. Part of me doesn't want to gamble, but part of me.
I'm a rabbit. You better not irradiate my nuts. That's all I'm saying.
God. Is there like a small woodland creature that plainsland creature I see? I avoided saying small fuzzy creature, sir.
Right, some sort of rodent, perhaps. Yeah.
Nose twitches, ears flex.
Yeah, you could probably find some sort of small, fuzzy plains creature.
Cat.
Classic situation. I focused the energy into the wand and pointed at the creature.
Okay. So the wand definitely seems to store some of the energy that you transfer into it. But without like casting a specific spell, it doesn't seem to do anything.
Say expecto patronus.
I look over at him and I go, so is the command word like etched onto the shaft of your wooden wand or something? That's like standard.
Say expelliarmus.
There was no mention of that in the description.
We're special. You don't need an actual power word.
You usually have to, like, when I'm dungeon mastering, you have to like examine it very closely to see if the command word is like etched on it or somewhere. But it's usually it's on there somewhere. There's a clue.
Say,
Do you want to inspect it?
Wait, what's that Pokemon ability that has the Ivy attack that drains from the enemy but gives you life bonus?
That's some Bulbasaur shit, right?
It's
called like Seed Drain or something like that.
There's Seed Drain as well, yes.
Just say something and see the power. We're special. Just do it.
Oh God, I'm gonna regret this. Focusing more energy into it. Hold still.
Nothing seems to happen.
Okay, so it's not a wand of holding.
No, you need a magic word like abracadabra.
No, to be fair, the kinds of magical items that have charges do generally have either a word or some other method of activation. That is a fair cop. But like, there isn't any indication of what that is on the wand.
Oh, it's made of ivy, right? It's got the ivy. What's a word for ivy? Is it like semper virum or some shit like that?
Well, that's actually why I went with binding, because typically ivy is used as a binding spell for druids.
Try bind whip. Like
Rose whip.
yeah. Wand, use vine whip.
That's funny. It
Let
doesn't
me-
seem to do anything.
Let me see if I can figure out some like druidy property, something. What sort of role would I try to do?
Nature, maybe?
Yeah, okay, we'll give it a shot.
Okay. Yeah, so you can tell right off the bat, actually, like literally the moment that you touch it and focus your attention on it,
Right off the
that
wall,
the
probably the better
that
way to say that.
the the magic of the wand is not something that is imbued into it, but rather is something that is inherent to the wood that it's made out of. It feels like it resonates with particular, with particular elements, and in this particular case, you can tell that it's cold that it resonates with.
Oh.
So you suspect that if you cast cold spells with this wand, they will probably be somehow enhanced.
Huh.
Well, alright, guys. You have a cold spell?
Wand, cast blue. It's like the cold.
Right. Ice strike.
Let me
No,
look
the
at
flu, like
my
the common cold. It was a
spells.
punch.
Yep.
Oh,
That was a rhinovirus joke. Which would also make a good Pokemon name.
rhinovirus.
Yeah, from like a Gen 2 or Gen 3,
Rhinovirus, I choose you. Sniffle
I
attack.
choose you. Yeah.
Hot choose you. Oh, what have we done? That's one of those dangerous ideas.
I don't actually have any cold spells. Well, yeah, no.
Not e-
I thought wands were supposed to give you magic powers. Like, just wave the wand and go ice strike,
That's a very patriarchal way of thinking of things.
ice beam.
I'll think about frostbite. I don't have that as a cantrip, but I'm gonna
Freezing
think
grasp.
real hard about it. Aim it at like a fire or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it doesn't seem to do anything on its own. Uh, you would have to actually cast a spell.
I wonder. Okay, Patsy's here. I want to try something.
All right, take it.
Well,
You're on the
while
roll.
holding the... Yep. I cast Firebolt with it.
Okay. It casts Firebolt. Works pretty well. About exactly the same as every other time you cast Firebolt.
Okay. I was thinking if it might have changed it from a Fireball to a Ice spell.
Nice. Unfortunately, no.
Dang it.
Well, it's a long rest. You can technically change a wizard cantrip. Oh wait, no, you need to be level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Because I got Illusionary Script, Id Insulation, Hellish... Oh, no, that's racial.
So, are we gonna meet up with this guy?
Yep,
Yeah.
I will work more on that. I'll just put that in my bag for now.
Yep.
Um,
All right. Give me just a second. I am going to go run and grab myself another drink because I just realized mine is empty.
That's a great idea. I should do that. I'll be back.
I'm doing okay, so
Cool beans.
What I'm doing all right.
this place is
I mean, I'm only wondering, like, if we're really going to follow through with the church and not just like quietly bail when we can. I just only because of the stuff that I heard the peasants saying. Like that, it leaves me wondering if we really
Well,
want to.
first off, the guy we're going to may not necessarily be part of the church.
What has you thinking that?
The guy didn't have us stick around to meet the Inquisitors.
No, this guy is just located somewhere else. Like I thought he was part of the city.
He's in the city, but if he was going to turn us over to the church, why did he have us leave when literally Inquisitors, people of the church, were coming to that location?
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not worried about us getting turned over to something. I'm just I'm worried about working with the church in general.
Again, I don't really. With how he's handled things so far, I think he works for the church is a very loose phrase for him.
Right.
Why do you think he got sent to the BFE of this area? Like, seriously. He pissed in someone's Cheerios so bad, he got the, you know what? I'm done with this. You're going to go here. You know that fungus? Till it's fixed, you're there. Period. So, like,
Well, we
that's
got it fixed. Yeah. Good point.
yeah. So I'm curious. I'm willing to at least go meet the dude, and at that point, we can decide whether we actually continue working for them or we ghost them.
Wise. Okay. I see the wisdom here.
Because I like having a little bit of a support network. We don't really know the lay of the land, don't have a lot of resources, and if we do actually become adventurers, freelancers, mercs, whatever you want to call them, they're going to be easily able to track us down. We kind of stick out like a sore thumb.
I suppose. I don't know how many corpses there are.
Right. Well, as it stands, we'd have to go to at least Windscour or the Fallen Kingdom to find an area that's more commonplace for the non-humans to be commonplace.
Ah, yeah.
If
The
I, at
rest
least
of
if
you
I'm,
have a harder time than I do.
it's,
Yeah, you just look a little goth from a distance, you know?
Exactly.
and you don't even smell, so it's excellent. But no, like I said, I want us to go like meet with the dude, see if he's chill. If not, we're going to take on a job, and then GTFO.
Exactly.
And,
Sounds wise.
and like I said, we'd either have to head for Windscour or maybe Fallen Kingdom. Because as I understand it from last time we talked to Snipe, that's where the current home of the Beastland is. What little is left.
Yeah, the Windscour.
Right. Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons.
Which, looking at
Oh,
the
Dragons.
labeled map,
All in the cook serve delicious style.
I'm
Dungeons. Dragons.
God, there looks to be a world tree in this world.
You're a world tree. Where did you find
yeah.
the world tree, though? Like, where did you see it?
There is a world tree in this world.
Talar.
Show me on the map.
Crack open world map labeled and go south. I mean, it's just south of the giant word of Galander.
Where did we get world map labeled?
Images.
No, I mean, where did we players get world map labeled?
Oh, from Priesty Dude.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Ray Fander had a map.
Gotcha. Just refreshing my own memory. So where are we? Up there north of Galander?
Yeah, we're headed
Yeah,
down.
you see that hill just north of the city, the one on the left side of the spire.
By the pink,
that-
there I see the 2020 pink stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that
but-
second 20 there on
Yeah.
the coast, that's
Yeah.
literally right where you are.
Gotcha. I see it. Yep. Cool. So what are we talking about with regard to this map?
If you go south, you'll see that there is a forest.
South of Gallender.
Yep.
Correct.
There's a
Little one.
deal-
It's a copse. Like, that's not a forest. So, unless you mean the one with the big ass. Oh, you mean the one with the big ass tree.
Correct.
the World Tree.
That's a long haul.
Oh, we're not going there.
Also, that's
We-
a long haul through like the like populated like farmlands and shit, where people are likely to be like superstitious about I don't know, rabbit people.
They
I
don't
doubt
hate
they're
rabbit
superstitious.
people.
I doubt they're superstitious about rabbit people, sir.
No, we already got a warning that I was a standout.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing as hated.
Sure, but it's like if anyone's like, "Hey, have you seen a rabbit person?" They're gonna be like, "Yeah, I did."
Right. What I'm saying, like, is if you were a demon or demon-like, or in some way possible to be confused.
Yeah, I'm far
with, like,
cuter than a tiefling for sure.
I'm a
but,
goat. I love you both. I am a goat. Bah.
Right. You're probably going to have a harder time in the kingdom whose whole holy purpose is to fight them.
Horny horns.
I got shot. I'm a goat.
We're gonna have to stick closer together there, goaty boy.
Whereas, like,
As
the
long as you
rabbit-
wash your balls. Have you ever smelled what goats smell like?
Yeah, the rabbitness is really more like, oh, it's one of you guys. Yeah, I've heard of you.
If
Nose
Well,
twitches. I don't
Actually,
eat lettuce or carrots.
that's a lie and slander because I've fed you carrots. Anyway. Actually, there's only two people here that can technically blend in the crowd. YOLO. And Phalian.
Right. Well, Adphalia stands out for other reasons.
So we are all standout messes, huh?
With a little
And not a
a
mess.
little work, he could blend in as a kid.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or I mean, even just a little person. Like it's just that he's going to stand out, in a lineup. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
Okay, so what's our plan?
Okay. There's one last thing that I wanted to try to identify on this long rest, and that's the crystal.
I wanted to hunt. Oh wait, no, we got boar. Never mind. We don't need to hunt.
Yeah. So I don't have a description for you, so I can't like click the button and just reveal it like I did with the other ones. However, in investigating that, you want to make an Arcana check for me? You want to roll a d4?
I whiffed again.
Okay, well, that's enough to give you some basic information. It is absolutely like any mana you feed it stays in the gem, and it glows progressively brighter the more that you feed it. However, you haven't figured out how to get the mana back out, and so you think it might be dangerous to keep pouring mana into it.
So it's like a rechargeable battery.
Right. Like I was going to say, in the same way that like overcharging a battery can cause it to burn or explode, you get the impression that putting too much mana in this object would make it unstable in some way. But it's basically a power core.
And I would need to figure out a way to pull the oomph out of it to really work with it. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, you
there's
just need to learn
crafters who already know how to do that. We just need to.
You just need to learn the trick. It's obviously a tech they have here,
Right. Okay, I store them in my bag. Till I get a pearl, I really do not want to show off any of my shinies. Because paranoia.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah. So your guys' plan was to head into Gallender via the coast, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of why you guys were going the way that you were going.
Yep.
Well, the way that you guys have been traveling, yeah, it looks like you would make that today, probably even like early afternoon. And like where you're at is relatively pacified. You did run into that group of scouts who were checking you out, but they didn't seem to do anything to you.
No, it was just the local smugglers.
Or whatever. I was tempted to appear behind them.
As long as they don't
I'll fucking
take
curb
your
stomp anyone
opponent.
that really challenges us anyway.
What was
I
that?
say, twitching my feet.
As long as they don't want to take our boar hide, I'm good.
Right. Yeah, no, they, like I said, they seem to leave you alone. Perhaps it's because they realized that you weren't a threat to whatever they were doing. I don't know. All right. So, basically, you can either travel straight south and sort of like come around the hill when you get there, or you can go down to the coast and follow it straight down. Either one.
I vote we go around the coast to our left if we're just facing what we're doing here on the map. Left, down, south,
Yeah. North is up. Yep.
Me too. Me too. We might
southwest
find
is
some.
following the coast.
We might find some limpets or something to eat during breakfast.
All sorts of whatever we might find. But yeah.
Oh, do I need to scrounge up some food? I can do that right quick.
Well, I'm just saying it would be nice to gather some stuff too. You know, you have some ingredients to sell to the locals or something.
Seafood goes bad quickly, but we might like it.
Well, you're going to get there pretty quickly. I mean,
I am
I have
not
a
going to go to
question
competition.
about those horseshoe things.
yep.
How do those apply? Do they actually have to be nailed on, or do they just kind of magically magnet into?
Like just adhere themselves.
Yeah. Do we have any bearing on that?
We would
You
have
get
to like
the
have
impression that they would just magically adhere themselves.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
Okay.
the interface is part of the magic.
I did want to test to see if each of us can, in like a circle or something, or standing in a formation, hold
Wait,
one.
Watts, are you hooved?
No, but Jory is.
No, Jory
Well,
doesn't
Jory
have
is
hooves.
You do
not
have
Jory.
goat's legs.
Alien.
Are you sure you're not who?
You would have the 3-finger hoove, I think. Goats. Yeah, sure, about that. Goats have the split hoof.
They're specifically for horses, though, and goats have a different style.
That's what I said. That's
Yeah,
exactly
they're
what I was
cloven
saying.
hoofed. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you have a split hoof, right? You can't.
Yep,
You
those
can't
shoes
put out.
would
Yeah,
not fit you. Yep.
exactly. And
All right.
likewise, rabbits' paws are more like cat feet.
Right. Or rat feet.
Kind of more like cat, only on the digitigrade, which is
Right, because they're slightly more paw-like than a rat's are.
Yeah. Well, and they do the same belly kick that's meant to like tear open the tummy.
Yep.
In fact, they call the thing that cats do rabbit kicking.
Yep.
Which is weird because they call baby rabbits kittens. So,
Well, I mean, look, if we want to wax really pedantic, like honestly, I think the Velociraptor is not getting their fair share of the credit here.
that's a chicken, son.
Sir, I have a bone to pick
You
with
know
you.
why they have those toes, though, right?
Oh yeah, we're cutting up your belly.
Because they rabbit kick.
Indeed, yeah. Yeah. Where's the chicken kick? Inside. Where's the Velociraptor kick?
Right. There were no rabbits when there were Velociraptors, so what the fuck? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, fair enough. Rabbits do the raptor kick.
Raptor kick.
Raptor kick. That's like
I
BBBA.
can do the raptor kick.
It's BBBA, but you have to be doing the right to up on the stick.
Right, exactly. That's fun.
Are we playing Street Fighter now?
Maybe.
Apparently so.
All right.
okay.
So we'll try those horseshoes and long strider, giving me a base speed of 68, which can
yeah, so
accelerate.
Oh,
that'll
did
get
you
you
put
there
those on your?
Oh, excuse me. A base speed of 100 feet per second, or 68
Hold
miles
on.
per hour.
What did you
Jesus
put those
Christ.
on?
I'm gonna put them on me.
You're
Oh,
gonna do some
shit.
wild
I'm gonna
shit,
put them
right?
in my hands and step on them with my feet, my bare hobbit, halfling feet.
And like bend over and put your fists into
Yeah.
the other
No,
ones.
I
And when
don't
you
need to
Turbo
morph
bend
into
over. I
them, they
just be
just
holding
work.
them in my hands.
Right, and then wild shapes, like Turbo Teen. you know?
Exactly.
It's just like Turbo Teen, but I figure he would probably need one of us to like smack him onto his feet or something. Like,
No, and then long strider I
Nope.
cast before that.
I would totally make you do like an agility or something.
I just do the
Dude,
thing.
it doesn't take a lot of effort to stand on a couple of horseshoes.
Yeah, but you're actually transforming while you do
Right,
it. Like,
but the shoes have the magic of the connection, not you. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. I get it. Like, I would figure you'd have to at least like put them on the ground, transform next to them, and like step into them like they were like
Yeah, there's no
prom
reason
used.
why you couldn't, but there's also no reason why you have to.
But the Turbo Teen thing is just right there in my head.
Yep.
So, I would imagine you guys would want to get on, and we're just gonna get like blazing fast going.
Right,
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
laugh.
kick up fucking rooster tails behind you on the
Like somebody sped up the fucking cell super fast.
Oh, I did want to
How
enjoy
many
the
of us
beach
can
of it,
fit on
but
your
yes.
back? I'm a big fat heavy fucking rabbit.
You're fine. All of you are fine. I've already calculated all of your weight.
Right,
Actually,
you've done this.
No, I
He
realized.
says.
I realized the one thing I would have done is actually, yeah, I would have actually held somebody's box when I went to horse, so that way, and put the shoes on there.
Well, it's not the weight I'm worried
Right, so
about.
that you carry the 50 pounds that way.
Yeah, because that's actually what gets us under
Right.
the encumbered carry weight for a war horse.
Right, I totally get it. Yep.
Jory is fucking laughing out loud. He's like, "Oh my god, you grognarded real life! Ah!
Of course.
Min-maxed your way into a
You
Lamborghini.
min-maxed our actual like life because it's our game. Because it's
I mean,
this is so absurd.
If in normal life, magic was truly something you could access academically, oh hell yeah, I'd be all up.
Right, you push your glasses
Right.
up as you're turning into a fucking horse. Beep, beep, beep,
You
beep,
know
beep.
how many emo warlocks there are that would accept their patron and just for the rest of their lives, yeah, I'm a warlock.
It's hilarious. I'm too busy ignoring the fact that I'm actually in a rabbit form and laughing at what you're doing right now.
All right. Well, here, let me clear some map grids for you.
In horse form, I'm gonna say to YOLO, how about this?
Oh, can
Well, I
he?
also want to investigate the beach before we get there. You know, maybe get to something.
Yeah, he cannot translate your horse with his helmet.
Because it's not a common spoken language.
Yeah, horses don't have a language.
Oh, I mean, if he wanted to check out the beach first, we would have probably just walked over and checked out.
Yeah,
well,
because
yeah, I mean, you could have like fan-tailed to a stop, you know, Fast and the Furious style as you came up to the shore. Actually, speaking of the shore, the shoreline is markedly different here than it was further up the coast where you guys were in the fucked up forest. I guess alliteration is just my thing today.
I was to say, is that the official like name?
Yeah, right. No, that's what it says on the map, I'm sure.
It's the fucked up forest.
Right.
Are you sure
but
it
like-
isn't the Poblight?
Right. No, that's much closer to the truth.
The pointless forest.
Where the coast there, while kind of steep, had a sort of like gradual slope down to the ocean. Here it's a lot more like oh my god. The beach south of Laguna with the hill
Corona Del Mar.
Corona Del Mar, thank you. Yeah, so it's like
Little
really
coves.
steep cutoffs, lots of like coves, and then like flat sand, 2 stories of cliff down below that.
Oh, it's like the Cliffs of Dover.
I mean they're not that big, but yeah. The cliffs are really only like 30, 40 feet high though. Like they're not super tall. Like if you look at Dover, they're hundreds of feet tall. So like, Doe, we didn't even get to the ver. you know.
Gotcha. It's like they got passed over again.
The cliffs of Doe.
Oh, what are we? The
We
Simpsons?
definitely want to come up from the beach if we possibly could.
The beach is really small. But yeah, like you could make your way down. It would be a little bit of a pain in the ass. And like
I'm not.
you don't know if you're looking at the low tide beach or the high tide beach. That would be your only big problem. But
How
otherwise,
much
that
of
seems
the pain
doable.
of the ass? I mean,
You can go
Well,
super.
you got to navigate your way down 30 feet of very steep hill, basically.
Done it. I've done it in video games
Yeah,
on normal.
it's doable. I'm not saying it's impossible.
I don't want to come in off of the beach. We're new here. The likelihood of the guards just picking us up because we came in like that, I don't want to push the luck of this letter further than we have to. But that's me. Like, does that make sense, or am I just being paranoid?
That makes sense. I mean, you might still just be being paranoid, but it makes sense.
right. Both of these things can be true.
Sensible paranoia.
I'm not gonna grow old on accident. I gotta work
Fair
at it.
enough.
Seriously though. We can go down to the beach, check it out, then go further in. We can then go see if there's like a gate towards the beach. I'm not sure how the walls are built in this place.
Yeah, we'll switch maps once you're close enough. Yeah. So if you guys want to go down to the hill, or down the hill to the beach. Thanks, brain. Just cut fucking 90% of that sentence out. If you want to go down to the beach, dex or an athletics check from your horse, I think would get you down there. And you can go that way. If you want to stay on the cliffs above the beach, they're very easy to navigate from up here. They're pretty much flat. Like, I mean, they're not exactly flat, but they're pretty much flat. There's very little obstructions at the tops of these hills. They're like made out of erosion. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Vaguely.
I mean, like there wouldn't even be a cliff if the water hadn't just worn it all away.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I've been
It would
places
have
like
just
that
been a
very
gentle
recently.
slope down to the beach otherwise,
The tide pools that Verde and I were at 2 weeks ago. Precisely that.
Well, I'm willing to go down there, give it a shot, see if there's anything we can find.
Well, maybe closer to the town.
Are we seeing
Either
any?
way, I mean, you really only got well, call it 3 southern hexes. 2 from where you're at, 3 if you go to the coast to get to town.
Might be a way into the town. Like a
yeah,
person
if
with a
you-
back interest or something.
If you go straight south, like even from where you're at, you can see that hill that's in front of you straight south is very clearly fortified and defended. You couldn't just like make your way up that hill and go into town. You would have to go to a gate. Logic dictates that there's probably one on the coast since the hill does not extend all the way to the shore. And you don't see ramparts to indicate that there's, some kind of like fortress or other defense there. So there's probably a gate or something down there.
Exactly.
Likewise, you could probably go around that hill and you'd probably find a gate on the other side of it.
Probably a gate on the beach. Beach gate. Gate beach.
There aren't really any roads out here, though.
So coming in this way will most likely be okay. What's the worst that can happen, right?
Well, I
That's
mean, I was gonna say, like, in a worst case scenario, you're gonna find a wall. Like, it's not illegal as far as you know to walk up to the edge of a town.
I would kind of put out a query to the server on that one.
Yeah. What kind of like hostiles towards to Romani are there?
How close
I
are
had
we
to
to the
figure out
ocean?
I had to figure out a PG term for them. I didn't want to use the G word.
Traveler,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Yeah.
traveler,
Worst wanderers.
wanderer also, but traveler is the accepted term in politics in the UK, etc.
Yeah. Which is good because previously their literal official terms were still slurs.
Right, it's traveler.
Yeah. Right. So
How close are we to the ocean?
thinking about 5 miles. Well, no, not even that. Probably about a mile.
Okay, close enough that we can hear maybe the seabirds.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Unlike the forest where you were, things are not dead here by any measure.
What's the weather like?
It's not bad, actually.
Nice.
Not too cold, not too wet. Little windy.
All right.
Shit, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Yeah, you were querying the system or thinking of a way to query the system.
Yeah, trying to figure out about if it's illegal or not to kind of walk
Right.
up on the edge of town like this.
Insider investigation. Actually, pick one.
I'm definitely better at one than the other.
I would like to
Let's
roll insight on this
see.
also. If we're gonna like be wandering into town, I would want to roll insight.
So,
I mean, I'm playing the like now that I realize where we are, and I am kind of cynical about this as I've played
I'm
before.
also a horse right now.
I want to keep right. Well also I have what's the word? I'm an insightful motherfucker.
You have insight, perspective.
I mean, maybe not.
Yep. You might think so, but
Right. My star for insight is gold. However, apparently, even with my +2, my senses are dulled. Have I been smoking weed? Did anybody give me some sort of weed?
no.
Not yet. I've been
Not
looking for
Uh,
it. I guess
okay.
my edibles that I ate right before the session haven't worn off yet. Praise be the goddess.
Yeah, maybe you're just stuck that way.
Praise be to the goddess. I mean,
Yeah. So y'all think about how you would like look up the help file for things like faction relations and town rules and PvP combat.
how do we flag? Indeed. What? Oh shit, dude. I look around to my team. How do we
Right.
flag, guys?
YOLO, I don't know if it's just the way you constructed the search query in your head, or if it was more about the like approach you took. But you do get a faction alignment grid.
Oh shit.
Uh,
It's like that.
yeah. So Gallender is
Pardon.
Gallender is allied with the Coral Kingdom, enemy with the Demon Continent, enemy with the Fallen Kingdom, enemy of the Forsaken Sands.
Somebody write that down.
Allied with the with Talar, neutral to the Verdant Valleys.
Sure, I'm glad this is going to be recorded.
Somebody clip that.
Right? No, I'm not kidding. Somebody clip that.
Yep, highlight that.
Hey, I don't know how the button works. I don't know how the
No,
button works.
I already said I bookmarked this
So let me
UI
write
element.
that down. I pressed the
Yeah.
clip button, but this isn't gonna work.
Since you didn't get anything back about flagging or PvP, you can come to one of two conclusions.
We are already flagged all the time.
Either it's an open PvP game and there is no flagging, or it's a PvE game and there is no PvP.
There is PvP. I know there is.
Right. You have not seen any indication that this is a PvE game.
Yeah.
We have plenty of indication that it's a PV. Yeah.
You guys remember, this is me. It's not Jory. Jory is my puppet. That's
Yeah.
my avatar.
Jory is your
Sorry.
avatar and your puppet, but you, the person playing Jory, are also Jory.
Well,
Not
not really. No, I made him
No,
to be a
I'm
fun,
kidding. Like,
fun
I'm
version of me.
Yeah.
Jory's like, help me, mother. I have a head and I'm in it.
Right? That's amazing. No, you said play someone you'd never played before, so I was like, all right. And I'd been watching this show, and I'm like, why don't I play a monk? I've never played a monk. And it was like, actually, you don't want to play a monk. What you want to play is a paladin of this pursuit, because that's more or less the character you want. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Right, well, because it fit your backstory perfectly.
Right. And then you were like, but actually, yeah, that's you. I mean, that's you, but it's not you. You're you. It's just you.
The problem is you didn't describe a U suit, so they gave you this other suit because you had a description for it.
Right. No, I get it. It's a fun story, and I love it. And I actually love the fact that I get to be Ombwa, but piloting Jory. Because that means Jory gets to be the rabbit, like the real rabbit phenotype that kicks back, gnawing on the fucking, joint if he can find one, and going, oh, I guess this is the part where this happens, right? All right, guys. But he's also a paladin when it comes down to it.
Right. He's like, here, I'm dead.
Right? But only in a really cynical fucking, oh my god, I rolled dead. You motherfucker. If I ever get, but you're you, and you're not here.
So it was allied with Talair, allied with, was it the Coral Kingdom?
Yeah, the Coral Kingdom.
Neutral with the Verdant Valleys, against the Fallen Kingdom, and then what were the other two that they were against?
The Forsaken Sands and the Demon Continent.
Okay, cool. Those are at least really easy to keep track of. The Fallen Kingdom, the Forsaken Sands, and the Demon Continent. You guys, the bad guys are the guys that are like, we're the baddies, okay? We're the baddies.
Not
Fallen.
necessarily considering how we've
Fallen,
seen
This is what we know. This
Demon.
is what we know from a certain perspective. I don't have enough history to make that.
Fallen, Forsaken, Demon.
Yeah, maybe they just felt because there's like a landslide or like a giant
Yeah,
sinkhole and they got.
I don't think we're living in that kind of world. This is very, like, we were going to play an
Right.
RPG, you
So-
guys.
Yeah, the actual backstory is like the kingdom had like this festival and they all got like really drunk and they just sort of like, fell down the stairs.
The festival. Yeah, right.
The whole
Exactly.
kingdom.
Oh shit! You know what? I would like to do this. In fact, based on this right now.
Now, actually, I like the idea better
That's
that
all
the
right,
entire
but really-
castle was actually a mimic, and it got drunk and stumbled down the hill.
Yeah. So, Jory, what were you focusing on there?
I was trying to figure out, like, wait a minute. This is a very like faith-driven, view of the world. So I was trying to apply what I might know about religion, because that's another thing I'm proficient in. That's the word, by the way, proficiency. I have a proficiency in religion, and I get +3 because of it. So I was like, I have a proficiency in this. This seems like a religiously motivated. Yeah, I guess that works. Religiously motivated circumstance. So I was like, wait a minute, my character, if I remember when I rolled this character, my character has a knowledge of this stuff. Can I access this?
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so you don't receive any sort of like search query or help file or info box. However, handling the actual tabletop role playing, it occurs to you that whatever the actual faith of the Church of Absolution may be, it feels very like Zoroastrian, uh, Zoroastrian,
Yeah,
uh,
Zoroastrian.
in that there's a very clear we're the good guys, they're the bad guys, we have to stand against them sort of
I see.
ethos. You know what I mean?
Oh, that doesn't sit well with me, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, whether that implies good or bad things, I suppose, is an entirely perspective-driven affair.
All right, I was just trying to gain some insight.
Yeah, well, there are some things that the lack of a search result could probably imply, like DM2 player. I'll just point out that you didn't get any information about things like the Forsaken Sands or the Fallen Kingdom, so their status as an enemy must not be religious.
Right. Yeah, I guess you know what? That's true. Yeah. It's probably not because of their god or goddess, but because of something else.
Right.
Interesting.
And I was doing a history check from what I was remembering. Didn't some of those areas actually were non-human?
Yes. Earlier, you learned that what is called the Fallen Kingdom was in fact originally a dwarven kingdom, and that in fact, dwarven artistry is so valued and prized in the modern age because the dwarven kingdom fell and there are so few dwarves left.
So, yeah. That's why they're hostile. Because the humans were the classic jerks and went through and killed everything. Yeah, I'm sorry, classic trope is, well, classic?
So is that
That could be deep.
Gallender, or is that the church that's allied against these different people?
That's Gallender.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and I guess I should have mentioned that Gallender is allied with the church.
Church of Absolution.
Correct.
All right.
More officially, the Church of the Grand Absolution, but the Church of Absolution is what everybody calls it.
Okie doke. Useful notes to have.
I wonder
the
how.
last note I had was Eichen Thalander. Is that someone we're looking for, or is that a place?
Oh no, that was the dude who got blasted out of his body at the Wizard's Tower.
Right.
Yeah, he is no more.
Yeah, you sent Ike on his way.
You did that, right, Nero?
No, he was.
No,
it
that
was a
was-
ceremony. Don't do
Oh,
that.
okay.
That would be me, because I'm able
Yeah.
to lay the dead to rest.
Okay. I'm like, no, someone in our party did that.
Yep. I'm a cleric. Doodle do.
I mean, they call me a paladin, but really, I'm just a concerned onlooker,
Fair cop.
a tourist, if you will.
I mean,
Some goddess said, "I guess you're gonna be you," and I went, "Wait, the fuck?" I'm a
Alright.
philosopher.
So-
This is absurd.
I don't think we were going to go down to the beach and we decide we're going to stay above the cliffs and go in, or are we going to go down to the beach and come in?
I'm down to stay on the cliffs. I mean,
Because there might be a gate down at the beach. We should.
I was gonna say,
keep it
if you
down.
want to come in off the docks, I think that might be a easier way to like bypass security. If there's some sort of security, like we
given
can
the
slip
way
in
that
off the docks, you know.
given the way the terrain works and given where you've seen structures, the likelihood that there actually is a gate on the physical sand beach is low. It's probably
Right.
on the cliffs above the beach.
We might be able to slip in like less
Right.
detected.
If you go in on the sand and there is no gate, as you presume, and you don't get spotted, you could probably make your way in entirely unnoticed by like climbing onto a pier or a wharf once you got to that part of the town, right?
I would suggest slipping in on a dock from the beach.
You might even be able to
Come
like
in on the
find
beach.
a midden and come out in a fucking manhole somewhere,
I wouldn't. We don't need to
Yeah.
do something like that. But I think if we come along the beach, we can slip up onto one of the docks or wharfs, and then come into a really, I hate to say low class, but
This is Verde's idea.
a dockside inn. Like we can come along the beach, climb up onto one of the earlier wharfs or docks, and then slip into a sailor's inn and find ourselves a room.
I want to have a very good survival like look at these cliffs and beaches to see if like we could do this
We can scout
without being
tomorrow. We can
detected.
scout the city tomorrow. We don't have to like do. All we need is a bite of food, a drink of ale, and a room that we all, or maybe a few rooms. But in fact, if we could get one room, like what are our oh, shit? What are our finances? What do we have?
Well, I got
you guys are not poor.
yeah, I got 13 gold, 1 electrum piece, 37 silver, and 71 cost.
All right. I haven't looked.
So
I haven't
you
looked
guys
at my
have
tablet lately, but
43 gold, 108 silver, 243 copper, and 4 electrum between you guys. But you
My-
also have, thanks to the fact that you're basically carrying fucking portable holes, right? You guys also have a shitload of treasure you could sell.
oh well, you treasure being sold require like you can't just walk into an inn, plunk down a fucking golden bracelet, and be like, I think this covers my night.
right. No, that's fair.
Um,
That's fair.
Actually, that's not necessarily true.
You could treat it as hack gold.
Who's your dungeon master, and who's the dungeon master of this place where we are right now, my friend?
You're
I
not
say-
wrong. You're not wrong.
What I'm saying is you could treat them like hack silver. You know what I mean? Like you could slap your bracelet of King Menitis down on the fucking table, grab your knife, hack off like an inch
Right?
long strip, and be like, "This ought to handle the night," right?
Right, but Snipey, you're the dungeon master, so you're like the devil on my shoulder. Meanwhile, Watts and I are standing in the cold wind off the coast, and I'm like, look, we can't just reach into our fucking portable holes, drop some fucking jewelry on the table, and be like, oh, I think this pays for the night. If we're gonna find ourselves a place, we're gonna have to pay them, and
It's
we're gonna
called a change house, you uncouth swine.
Are we gonna go find it? It's what time is it? What time is it, Dungeon Master?
8 a.m.
Yeah, as you say, you guys have just started your day.
Shit, where did we sleep last
And
night?
you guys have a Ferrari for a fucking horse, so you're gonna make it into town by.
Oh yeah, I know. We're gonna have to tone that down before we ride up on the fucking guardhouse. By the way, otherwise they're gonna wonder what the hell's going on. Hey,
Right.
look, there's 6 of you on the back of a supernatural horse.
No,
Again,
actually, I figure
or we could just go off.
I figure while you guys have been kind of talking about this, your horse has already found its way down to the beach and is already making
Kicking
the
along
way,
in the sand.
Yeah, very close to the
How many of us are there on
cliff
you?
itself, so that way there's no line of sight. We're
Yeah, that's
up,
why
you're
I
free up on a
rolled
horse.
my survival roll is also to help out.
Me with my big ass
that.
fucking rabbit Kardashian haunches.
Yeah, using YOLO's guidance and your own sort of preternatural speed, you can basically make it down the hill before you trigger any like dangerous landslides or anything like that. And I call it a cliff because it's steep, but it's it's a California fucking coastal hill. Do you know what I mean? Like it's you could
Sure enough.
totally figure your way up or down it.
Yeah. What's the when does the fall distance kick in for a large creature? Is it 10 feet or is it 20 feet?
Well, in From Software's Elden Ring, it's 16 feet.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, I figure whatever it is, if I gotta take a little falling damage, fine, I got 22 horse HP and shrug it straight off.
Horse HP, yes.
Horsepower? No, horse HP. Completely different.
Motherfucking horse HP.
I have one very beefy, super Chad horsepower.
Super Chad.
If horsepower is measured on this horse, the numbers would be a lot lower in people's cars.
Yep, I have a 5 horsepower horse. He has 10 HP.
Yeah. Yeah, because if I rev up and do a dash, we're going 200. We're going basically like, what is that?
132 miles an hour.
136 miles an hour.
Yeah, dude.
Your cheeks go. Wah, 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 wah.
All right. Yeah, so the sand on the beach is pretty rocky. Like it's sand. So it's not like, Oregon or Washington coastline, rocks.
Stone, yeah.
Right. But it's it's the kind that's got lots of like, shards of various types of rock in it as well as sand. So like it wouldn't be pleasant to walk on barefoot, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's not exactly cold, but it's not exactly like a place that you would want to like, set your beach towel down and have a day either. It's kind of a, like if you were going to rate it on a scale of like, fucking beaches in Alaska to, beaches in Paradise, it's probably a like South English beach.
Oh, apologies, all my South English viewers.
I guess for some reason I immediately imagined like a New York.
Sure, actually that's not bad either, except that there's probably more like horizontal span of sand in a New York beach.
I getcha.
Like the actual like strip of sand is probably
Far fewer concrete shoes.
Yeah, like I'm trying to fit, like I would have to go open the other map and measure it, but I think it's like less than 200 feet. Like it's a pretty narrow strip of sand. And in fact, now that you're down here, you can tell that at high tide, the waves reach the actual cliffs.
And
Neat.
cover up the corpses completely.
Let's toss them right over the edge.
So, true story. My Verde's grandmother actually stubbed her toe upon some concrete shoes. And
That's right. You told me that story.
Yeah, and discovered that they were in fact real to life concrete shoes, and had to call the police.
The cement shoes.
On the New York, Jersey
Nice.
shore. Sorry, the Jersey Shore. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You didn't know that one.
What a bunch of stereotype.
I'm pretty sure it was either your grandmother on your mom's or your mom's mom. It was either your mom's mom or it was your auntie with the butter on the floor and the door. It was one of the two, but yeah, they stubbed their toe upon a concrete block while out at the Jersey Shore, and it turned out it was actually the cement shoes.
Nice.
Yeah, you should ask your mom about it. It's a family story I got told.
That's a heartwarming family story.
Right?
One to pass down for all the children for generations.
Oh, I was fascinated. I come from the West Coast where that's just not really how you handle it, right? Like there are other ways. Like,
well,
you end up in a
once
quarry.
again, that's why I said what I said about like what a stereotype, because that is literally the stereotype.
Right, that's
Totally.
the East Coast. You run afoul of the East Coast mob, you get the cement shoes. No, you're totally right. The West Coast, though, it's more like a lie bath, or like you end up in a mine shaft, or like
In the middle of the desert.
yeah, well,
Or-
yeah, the
or
Mojave,
you,
or you end up in a shallow grave in the Mojave, and no one ever fucking finds you again.
Yeah, that's
Someone
Nevada style.
takes the
Not
pig from a
kidding.
snatch and just feeds you to pigs.
Well, yep, that's another one. Well, except the Chino, like
Tombstone style.
the Chino Preserve isn't out there anymore, so all those hog farms, not consuming all the mob you know.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's just
What?
I'm sure we've got other
Fucking
Probably
dead
took down a
facts.
whole local industry.
Like, you're not kidding, dude. I did tell you the story of where I was out,
Oh yeah. Separation tanks.
not just the sept tanks. I mean, yes, I found the sept tanks and more than one. Well, my job was to work the sept tanks, and like those are totally legal and totally rational and whatever. They're not there anymore, but it used to be like, don't fall in there because they will never get you out, right? But it was also, local mobs throw people in these because they will never get you out. But no, the story I was going to tell is when the time I found the
Cox.
the circular arena style building that had no well, I found the entrance. Ultimately, it was like it was a panel that opened up, etc., with a lock on it. But when I peered through the stuff, it turned out it was a literal, like, very steep what do you call them, where you sit on bleachers, very circular, very steep bleachers with a little tiny thing in the center with posters on the outside depicting roosters with spurs, etc. Meaning this was very clearly an actual place people came to go watch, rooster fights.
Yep.
Which are super illegal, but also super cultural and part of the the culture that was the Chino Dairy Preserve when I was an official of the actual government working on it. So like, I found this thing and I was just like, what the fuck is this? And I like peered in through the little slats and was like, oh shit, this is like a legit fucking cockfighting arena. Oh my god. But that was, in the 1990s, early 90s, like 1991, 92. But yeah, literally found an actual cockfighting arena. It was amazing. Anyway, we can continue.
How much of a line of sight do people, boats or on the docks and stuff, have on like the super horse passing by and kicking up, a sand?
Yeah, as you speed by, right? I don't know that I have the right music for this.
Oh yeah, it'd be like Benny Hill, I think is what you're looking for.
I was gonna say, if
exactly.
you just have like the scrambling to run sound effect from like the cartoon clips,
Totally.
or it's like the little drum.
Exactly. Yeah, no, to answer your question as far as like visibility goes, right now, like we're like in the hex that you're in right now, there's enough convolutions in the shoreline that like any given spot only has kind of like a section of the horizon visible. However, the further south you go, two things happen. First of all, there's a slight rise to the terrain. It becomes a little bit more slope-like rather than flat, as if the waves break differently there, so there's less erosion.
That makes sense.
And in fact, if you look out into the water, you realize that there are reefs out there that are prematurely breaking the waves as you get closer to the city.
Nice.
But also, as a result, the strip of terrain gets wider, and so, you can, the next hex down, basically, you're going to be visible by anybody on a ship who cares to look.
That's fine. Let them tell the tales of the horse that was faster. The super horse with the weirdos on it.
Right. Like a scene out of a
I'm
Muppet
just a
movie.
person.
Alright, you
I'm just
see
a-
that over there? See what?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't see nothing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he throws away his bottle.
See, I ain't seen nothing out of neither eye for the last 20 voyages.
Wait.
All right, so I guess, give us a little ding on the map of the world where.
Where did you guys go? Hold it.
I don't know.
I think you did that.
I did. I just don't know how I did that.
All right, this isn't fast music. This is dramatic. You gotta switch it up. Oh, me.
I hear you. Hold up. Pretty
I
sure
feel like
this is
someone's
the
about to
fastest I
confess
have.
to me like I am their one true love and it can't ever be, and they're going to then slip my throat and be like, "We'll never be able to be together, but we'll always be together," and they'll kill themselves too.
Oh,
Damn, that-
your whole yandere.
That is really like articulate for like just one little sound effect.
It's
Oh,
a
it's
whole
not one-
tune.
There's a lot of details. All I'm saying.
Well, it's a
You gotta-
very layered performance. It's very tense music.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. We were running. We were hurrying. We were moving faster than any horse
No.
You guys
should
weren't
move.
No,
fleeing,
but this
you
is
were
more
just
like
moving
a fun
fast.
moving fast, not a serious. We're not being chased by the demon horde. We're like, give me like some Miami Vice sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't.
This
I don't
is
have-
this is racing snails or moving right along.
I totally
or,
get it. Yeah,
you know,
I don't have any of that. Sirenscape doesn't give you any like. And here we're going, progressing the game.
no happy
We're
travel
progressing the game. Let's progress the game. It's time to progress the game. We don't have any of that. All we have is either like, it's mellow now. It's quiet time before
Alright, fine.
the action happens.
Give me some sexy elf
and
music or
The
something.
action is happening. It's time to kill the monster. Meow. The monster roar. Roar. That's all we have.
Yeah.
Fine.
They
Give me
need
some
some
sexy
mood
elf
packs.
music then.
Sexy elf music. All right, let's see if I have some sexy elf. I think I might. I have a lot of shit now I have to dig through because I don't know it all personally, like by heart.
So is it around?
Plus, I bought a lot of it drunk.
Around like here or so, where we're starting to see the terrain change up.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. And in fact, basically, where you're at now, the cliffs start to become a little bit more imposing as well. There may be like where the other, where the cliffs were 30 feet or so where you made your way down, they're probably more like 40, 45 feet now. It's not like dramatic, but it's enough that you're like, wow, those are actually like cliff-like, Also, from where you're at, you can sort of like see, here, I'll put a marker down, just so I can make it visible. You see, hey, move, motherfucker. Oh, why are you doing this to me?
Because it wants to do you dirty, sir.
Alright, well, fine, I will just go put it directly where I want it to be.
Does suit you better there now?
Oh, God, it's snapping the grid. I get it now. That's my bad.
That makes sense.
I did that. So I will do an arrow instead.
You could do it on the other map. I've got them both open.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, hold on. Let me go open the other one. Yep, so that's fine. I didn't realize that all of that shit snaps to the grid like that.
It snaps to the grid. Even if you don't want it to snap to the grid. Oh, yeah.
Grid snapper. Oh, you a grid snapper, are you?
Well, even here. Wait, is there?
Really? There isn't even a grid here. Yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah,
puts one on
You
there by
even snap
default.
when there is no grid. I bet
Yeah,
you got a
there
booster
is a
for your
grid.
booster, didn't you? Was that too deep? Was that too deep a cut? I'm just saying.
All right, but anyway, do you see where the coast sort of cuts into that pink box?
Yeah.
There. Yeah. So like, right there, the hills sort of like become a little bit more imposing, and you also realize that kind of represents the like city proper's edge, in that the cliffs, like I said, they're higher up, but like you can see clear signs of like walls and other defensive installations on the tops of those cliffs pointing out to shore. So as far as like your navigation goes, basically the bottom of the next hex is where you're probably going to want to start thinking about how you're going to get into the city. And in fact, when you get there, I'll translate you to the other map.
Okie dokie. That sounds good. And then, how much time has passed getting to this point?
It's about like 12:30.
Going at super
Uh,
speed.
PM, you mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, just afternoon.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You
Sun
lost
is
a
high
little
in the
time
sky.
coming down the hill, but that's about it. Okay. Where is?
All right, you should probably slow down before people in town see us and like understand that we're actually wizards out of the fucking north. There, Nero. I whisper, or I don't whisper. I just say as
Yeah.
I'm riding the back of the horse. Hey, you think this is kind of conspicuous? We're probably gonna think we're like, demons.
I'd probably be getting pretty close to running out of my second hour of.
You can turn yourself into a person, but I can't turn myself into anything but a rabbit man.
Yeah.
Wild shape points. I'm actually gonna mark off both of my level
So, I'm gonna
2
make
slots because I cast longs. No wait. Level
I
1
am a
slots.
rabbit man.
The
I'm
2
fierce.
level 1 slots for the 2 long striders.
Oh shit.
Okay. So, table talk. I did not get the chance to finish this map. It is definitely done enough to be used. However, particular districts are literally only fleshed out, and I didn't get the roads done. I just laid out kind of the general where they are. All of that said, this is the Gallender City map. You find yourselves on the sort of like northern edge on the sort of like scummy beach here, up in the northwest corner of the map.
Oh, I'm glad we're
Each-
down here and upstairs.
Look at where we are, you guys.
Right, each of these tiles is 52.1 feet.
Gallagher City, boys and girls.
Each of these tiles. Okay. Well, I guess I'd probably at least get us over to here, kind of out of sight, before going back to humanoid form.
Yeah, I chuckle and I put my. Can I do? Whoa, shit! Let me double check. Do I have a cloak that I can put my ears under? If not, I'm a dummy. I have those horseshoes of speed. Do I have those anymore? Or did I give that to?
No, I'm taking those. I'm giving you
Okay.
the potion of heroism and the filter of love. You're
Sick. Though I'm glad to have them,
more
but
the person to have those things.
that's dope. I just need to I need to fix my equipment.
You
Actually,
can use
leave
my
Snipe to
board.
do that.
Yeah,
What?
let me.
Yeah, please do, sir.
You can
I
have
was
my
just
boar
looking
head
at my shit.
mask.
Oh,
That's
it's gonna
it.
be that
I was
thing
checking to
right?
see if I had a mantle I could put my ears back under
gonna
and
be
throw
that
the mantle
thing
up so that I had a hood
in-
up so that it wasn't until you looked me in the face that you realized I was a rabbit ass motherfucker.
Hey.
See what I did?
No. You can have my boar head mask that
I don't
just
want to
made.
wear a board. No, that's
It's
just
gonna
as bad,
be
man.
thing in a few minutes, so I'll be back in just a moment.
Oh,
Okay.
indeed. I will also
No,
take a
it will disguise you. You will put on the boar head mask, and no one will know that you are a rabbit person. They'll just think that you're some sort of
Boar-headed.
eccentric. Well,
With
they'll
a
know it's a
weird
mask, though.
deformity.
No,
Y'all are
the
fucking
leg
weird. I'll be
thing
right back.
is part of the costume.
Gotcha.
I mean, I could just put the boar mask over the helmet, I suppose.
That might actually be a good idea, considering we're about to go into an area where that would be a well-known item.
Maybe. It's not very well polished. They might not recognize it.
Right, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, the dude
Iconic
was
is iconic?
dead for a while. So like, if you weren't a historian or if there aren't any stories about the dude with the big ear helmet, you're probably okay for
Isn't
general
Boarhead
passers
Mask?
by.
Yeah,
Isn't
I think what you just said is my general take on it, because I did not get a history prompt on the dude.
isn't Boarhead Mask like the name of like a Slayer song?
I was just thinking that, yeah.
I was thinking it was. This song is Boarhead Mask.
Come on, don't you want to wear it?
No, I'm good. I am sad
You-
that I did not get a cloak. Why don't I have a cloak? You know very
You'd
well,
rather-
Dungeon Master, that I would have rolled my character with a cloak.
Hey, for what it's worth, do you have clothes?
See what I'm talking about here?
You'd rather look like a
Well,
rabbit than.
For what it's worth, you do have clothes because every character background comes with clothes of some sort.
Yeah.
But in the case of every character background that comes with clothes, because it's a feature of clothes, the player can decide for themselves what those clothes are, provided they're reasonable.
Sick.
Such as,
I'm
you can
wearing a
certainly
cowled
have a
cloak.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm standing here with you guys, and I've been wearing some really simple clothes. And at that moment, all of a sudden, they kind of get a little bit fancier. Just not a lot, but a little bit. You know, get some trim
Like
on them,
new textures streamed
right?
in that were
Just
higher
like
res.
flip,
Like,
flip, flip, and then a cloak goes whoosh, and a cowl folds around. You know,
was
with a
that always there?
mantle and a cowl. And you guys are like, what? And I like throw it up over my ears and pull it so it's just like over my eyes. And I'm like, all right, we're good.
Yeah, likewise, the body that I'm inhabiting is wearing dirty clothes of a once fine nature. Sort of feels and looks like a smoking jacket, but like somebody was maybe lying in a corpse field or a pile for a while.
Everybody here?
Right.
No,
I
I'm
think
not
so, yeah.
here, man.
Dave's not here.
Dave's
Dave's not here.
I'm Dave. No, I'm Dope Dave. Remember?
Dave's not here, bro.
I have a T-shirt. No, we still have 2 minutes, so let's like shoot the shit.
So,
Yeah,
so
if you look at the chat channel, the Discord chat channel, that was your character a second ago.
Oh.
So we're walking up the
That's
beach
funny.
right now. Are there any like easily harvestable stuff like limpets or cool shit like that?
Yeah, actually, there probably are, given that most of the terrain that you covered was, typically submerged during a high tide.
You're looking for some OPE?
Now that you're up on the rise,
The kind?
that's not as true. In fact, there's even like beach grass here. But along the way, you absolutely could have picked up probably of at least clams, if not limpets and things like that.
Clams take them active. Like you got to look for the bubbles and then dig.
Yeah, and you guys were moving in a way that probably implied you weren't taking the time to do that, for what it's worth.
Why?
Just saying.
But I mean, there is nothing to stop you from going down to the interface of surf and shore and seeking out that kind of thing. Oh, boy,
That's
do
a
you
lot
have an
of-
HDR monitor?
I do.
I can tell.
Yeah. Only on this. It's not as bad when I go over here. Like.
Yeah, I was actually tripping out on that because in other times when I've been looking at your stream, it's been properly color coded. Yeah.
Yeah, you can read it here. It's when I go to like Big Head where I actually capture all that shit just as a like background, just because I'm just like being Big Head. But it was time,
Got it.
as it is now, time
To
go
class?
Big Head like this, and then we're gonna be like, so watch your chat, my friends. All right, those of you watching right now should know that this is the moment that we take in the show once a week. we set aside this little bit of time to basically say thanks. You guys are awesome. You should feel chuffed because you guys are actually patrons of the art. And this shot right here that will probably put me over like it always does is just for you. Also, I wrote a song just for you tonight. This is it. You better clip it because I'm going to forget it and never sing it again. I love you. This is the one, and this is the shot. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Cheers.
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 Glory
Cheers,
and good
guys.
health.
Whew! Damn,
All right.
that's some Kettle One. Kettle One is my favorite vodka.
Currently drinking herbal root beer.
Dabble
Nice.
dabble.
It is tea that tastes remarkably like root beer.
Awesome.
Okay.
I've had a
Makes sense.
tea that tastes remarkably like root beer. I know the herb blend they use. It's rad.
Looking at this map, I'm very glad we descended because the map looks like we would be up in Noble Land. That would be bad.
I mean, yeah, that's a safe assumption. I mean, for example, from where you guys were, you can see that there are massive ballistae, like just ship killer ballistae on the hills. So it's obvious that there's an active military presence there too.
Yeah.
Right on.
I-
Yeah, I can see that.
I've got to ask, we did the items towards the beginning of the rest. Would I have had the time to switch Thunderwave for Ice Knife?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Then I will probably also hold on to that in case attack spell.
All right, that was in. You're cool with that, right, Watts?
Yeah.
All right, then I will transfer that for you.
I figured once we actually figure out how it works and I acquire an ice spell,
Yeah. It's not like, it
it's permagon.
binds on pickup or something, or binds whip or something.
Might bind on use. Yeah.
I don't think it's that kind of world.
I was gonna say the same thing. I don't believe that we are in that sort of world.
Yeah, none of the info boxes you've seen show anything that would imply binding. Like, not even a space in the UI for it.
Besides, Ombois, who is piloting Jory, probably wouldn't be down to play that game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We didn't actually have a choice in the matter, technically.
Yeah.
no, but this is probably based on the game we were playing or on our way to play in some way. Why else would we be chosen to do this? Look around, you guys. Look around. This is something we all were, familiar with. There's no reason to suspect this wasn't, done on purpose in some way.
Right. By the same token, we were told not to roll up characters we would have never played before to play a campaign that's different than normal.
Duh, I
So-
say, looking at myself and like throwing my hood back.
Are you
again,
supposing that
obviously.
our dear friend Snipe Hunter has a connection to Jehovah?
Also, where is Snipe Hunter?
Hey,
No
he's
clue.
probably
Hopefully
wondering
he's
where
not-
we're at.
Where's the fucking
Hopefully-
DM? Right.
Shit, they're all ghosting
come on, though.
me. What the fuck's
Come on,
going
though. Would I
man?
play
Right.
a paladin? All of you, take a minute. Would I ever play a fucking paladin?
Yes.
It's what your
What?
character
You are
sheet-
now.
Come on, Watts. As long as you've known me, would I choose paladin ever?
If it fit the character you
Yes.
wanted to make, honestly.
Aw, you guys are sweet.
Okay, for the record, you would play a 5E paladin, not a 2 or 3E paladin.
Now you're getting nerdy.
That's true.
True though.
Because we've talked about that.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I love how small the chat is on your stream window. That's hilarious.
Who, me or him?
Oh boy,
Oh, yeah, I bet.
because he's got that 4K monitor action going on, so it's.
But yeah, no, I will nitpick that one. Like old school, not so much. The current generation of it, I could see you doing it because you have more control over the character, and you can really fit what you're wanting to do with it.
Right. Like the 5e retool of Paladin definitely makes them a character that anyone can play, regardless of their,
I agree with that.
role play style or character choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even
So-
anti-paladins if you want to be the dick.
I used to, well, and to be really honest, I used to be the fucking naysayer that was like, no, no, no. Paladins have to play by their fucking rule set because otherwise they fall and lose their powers. But no, I'm a convert.
So
I
we'd be
like-
walking basically 600 feet to get to the gate here. I don't know that we would do anything special. If there'd be fanfare, if we'd be like banging
yeah,
to some
so
sort of rhythm.
right. There is no gate. Do you see that pink X'd out area there?
Mm-hmm.
There very clearly was a gate once. Now there is a giant scree pile. It goes
Nifty.
about a third of the way up the height of the hill. So it's, probably only like 12, 13, 14, 15 feet. So you can climb over it, no problem. But like, nobody's officially using it. That said, you already see regular evidence just in the way the grass is growing that people very clearly often just climb over this pile to get to this piece of coast here.
Gotcha.
I'll race you to the top. Bound.
Let's stroll.
Yeah.
Bound.
Give us a chance to keep an eye of the people, attention to detail and all that, yo, bro. Sorry, YOLO.
Yeah. So,
Nice knife.
Totally.
take my time getting through instead of trying to do that.
Throw an onigiri at him.
I was just gonna say that's when you throw in a rice ball. Boy, don't let him eat it though. Throw the rice ball before he picks it
Because
up.
you get it back if you're paying
Exactly right. You throw it. He goes over to get it. You jump down and garrote the motherfucker and take your rice ball back. Because bitch, you don't get that. I'm gonna use that to kill your dog. What?
attention. Anyway, sorry.
Sorry.
This is the English dub. It's jelly donuts.
Right.
Oh, those jelly donuts. Why are they triangular with that little nubbin of seaweed? I mean, whatever that is on a donut.
Chocolate?
Rock. Weirdo.
All right. So, you were debating how best to make your entrance into the city from here.
Correct.
Low
I
and
dashed to the
slow.
top of the pile.
I think we slip in off the docks and act like we came from some fucking boat. We just slip in with all the rest of the fucking boaties.
Yeah, the docks are pretty far away.
Like, we're trying to get past, like...
Shit, because that whole village of motherfucker. Wait, no, where's the dock? Oh, shit.
We're right now trying to get into town.
Right, but... Oh, fuck, I thought
the
there were
docks
docks.
are in the center of the harbor. I mean, I didn't get a chance to actually build the whole wharf structure, but you see where that boat is? That's basically where the docks are.
Oh, I see. So you have to go through this whole village of, like, side shit before you can even get to the docks, is what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Because this place where the ship is the docks.
Right.
Gotcha. All right. I assume the docks would be a whole structure that was like all this crap here.
It is. It's just way further away from you than you expected.
Gotcha. Well, fuck. Because my thought was we blend in with the multicultural diversity that is bound to be the slums around the docks. Because there's bound to be that. And then we can slip in. No one's going to be too bitchy because we're diverse and weird. And then we can, kind of mosey our way towards the actual real life city. And then when we find the actual barrier between the gentrified area and the shitty area, we can slip through. find our way, whatever we're gonna do. What is our goal in this city anyway?
We're gonna go touch base with the gentleman, find out if this is actually people we want to work for. If it is, we'll work with them. If not, we're going to work with them while ignoring them.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a letter to deliver, correct?
Yeah, air
Yes.
quotes. Massive air quotes.
Right. Well, okay. My advice is still we should slip in through the slum.
Exactly.
Slip in through the slum.
If
That's
this
a song
dude,
my band used to hum. We're gonna
if
slip
this
in
dude
through the
is
slum.
sketchy in any way, though, I think we should slip on our own way out and perhaps find our own way to deal with the demon lord, or just accept the next coming few years. We've been given a second chance after being hit by a car.
Jesus, motherfucker.
Truck.
Look, if this is legit, we should probably do the hero thing. If it's not, then the demon lord is as bad as hell, right? Except we actually know that the goddess that makes us real here is real. So we you know what I'm saying? Like we have this is not Pascal's wager. We at least know that bitch is real, even though she may not be the coolest person in the
Yeah, it's
world.
more like Roko's basilisk.
Oh shit, you said thanks. On stream even.
Reincarnation's a bitch. YOLO shrugs.
Yeah, you are lucky you don't know what Roko's basilisk is, because if you don't know what it is, then it doesn't actually harm you. I, however,
welcome our authoritarian AI overlords.
right, yeah, I will hasten to
I've
make
always
them.
been kind to the computer.
You know
Yeah,
that
man.
I too wish that I were lorded over
You make it.
by
You make a
machines
lot
of
of
loving
assumptions
grace.
about my
Skynet has a
knowledge
great
of a
sense of humor, as
basilisk.
I understand it.
All watched over by machines of loving
Yeah.
grace.
I love Roko's basilisk because it's the ring of philosophy.
Right? Oh, it totally is. And fuck you. Also, by the way,
Roko's basilisk is like the game.
You know the game?
Totally.
Thank you, Verde. Thank you for my God, you have just proven that I have raised you correctly, because what I was about to say is, all you motherfuckers, you just lost the game.
I
game.
didn't lose the game, sir, because I don't play the game.
Dude,
Right,
as soon as somebody mentions Roko's basilisk, you lost the game. That's my only defense.
It's not that you lost the game, it's that you're on the record as playing.
Yep. Oh, too late. Sorry, motherfucker. Love you, mean it. All right.
Yep.
Dungeon Master, speak.
Yeah, so Phelan, it looks like you've laid out a route that you want to take.
Yeah.
Okay. Is your intention to be overt, discreet, casual, suspiciously casual?
I guess
You know,
I'm forcing.
You're gonna walk in all in trench coats, whistling.
I guess kind of somewhere between overt and casual, like definitely not avoiding eye contact or anything like that. Definitely taking the time to observe people, wave and say hello if people, out and approach.
I'm definitely happy and relaxed. I mean, I bounded up a hill. Oh, scree.
Yeah. So the quote unquote scree pile is really the collection of blocks from a collapsed rampart, a collapsed defense. What was probably a gatehouse and wall that led all the way to the water. Most of the bricks, though, are indistinguishable from rock. They're so broken and eroded. So this wall probably fell over a while ago. Like, given like the weeds and other stuff growing out of it, probably like decades ago. Maybe even longer. There aren't any like people around, but like there's clear evidence that people do move back and forth through this space, and no one has challenged you so far.
All right.
I'm just observing the people. Are people like actually returning the greetings that some of the others have done, or they're just kind of, how are they reacting?
It's too bad this is not Roll20, so I can't ping the map. Where are we on the actual map?
Upper left.
Well, no, I see where. Are we where the token is?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
well, there's
you.
not a lot around there.
Oh,
Well,
you
we're talking
deleted
about
the path, but we didn't move.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm up on the scree pile.
we weren't at the scree pile yet till we had moved.
Right.
No,
I
he's
feel like
printed
we should
off.
be moving south and just kind of stick to the edge of the scree pile as we move south. And what is this pink XXXX? What's this?
That's the actual scree pile.
Look at this place. It's wonderful.
So are we down there
So
on
pretty.
that XXXX? Who's going to move our token?
Yeah,
Very
for me, we were going like here, 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 here. Over, and then not trying to be sneaky anymore. We're just like
No, we're just going to hike right over the circle.
Right
Again, it was just
over.
like all I'm saying is Dungeon Master was saying people were watching us and taking note. And I was like, where are the people up here in this thing? Okay, now I know where you are.
That was the last time you played. Yeah.
All right. So now we're here. We're starting to move through the city.
We're
Sorry,
Yeah.
city is a loose term. We're starting to move through the village.
Well, no, I mean it's definitely an outlying. Okay, calling it a district is an exaggeration. It's definitely the favela right at the edge of town.
That's what I mean. Like the city is clearly there, but
We're in the ghetto. Just call it what it is.
Yeah, we're in the fucking
This
ghetto.
ghetto seems to have some history to it, and I'm clearly captured by the sights, in a not like particular way, more of a
Yeah, actually, a 13 will get you a basic nameplate and log line. You were in the neighborhood of Tideswallow, the quote unquote bad part of town.
That's pretty clear.
Can you add a label
All
for
right,
that?
I'm gonna
please?
jam some insight.
I announced that happily, we're in Tideswallow. Apparently, this is the shady part of town. I bet we'll experience a lot of culture here.
No, could you add a label for Tideswall? I don't seem to have text on the access.
Oh yeah, can I do that?
That's not even very good.
You ought to be able to, but
No.
Wow,
Really?
blockage of a rooster.
Way better.
Wow, yeah. Wow. Okay. Oh well, the next time I pop out a revision of this map, I'll label it, or maybe I'll make fucking tokens that are the labels.
There you go.
I'm glad the Dungeon Master isn't taking these opportunities to feed me really garbage information.
All right. If that's the case, don't want to seem.
It seems the people really worship their buckets that they place outside their doors. These are, in fact, fucking piss buckets waiting to be
Night
gathered
soil.
by the night soil. Yeah,
I would probably expect a path,
terrible.
something along these lines.
Are we just to parade through the town?
And well, these are just there aren't really roads here, so it'd be either that or maybe we go here and then road here and go.
You know what? I'm just gonna stay close to you. I'm gonna put my hood up
Something
and
like
at you
that.
and stay close to you.
The one question I have though, do we want to go straight into town, or do we want to find the first tavern we can find here and go in, give them a little of this and that, get a drink, and ask what we can, kind of know what would help us kind of get in, blend in.
I think that's kind of a good idea, but I think actually what we should do is, yes, do something like what you're suggesting, but what we should do is find one that is legitimately for the, how should I say this? For the margin. We should find like something down on the docks. We should find something,
We're
that's
there.
like, yeah, that's what I mean.
Well,
like
you're still pretty far away from the docks.
Yeah, we're not at the docks, but what I
so-
mean is we should find something where diversity is not frowned on, where they're not going to be like a bunch of
They don't
fucking weirdos checked
Frown
in
on
tonight.
diversity. They just
Oh, they
remark on it.
do. Right.
No, they did. They don't. We've been said more
It's
than
almost
once
the
that they
same
don't
thing.
frown on diversity.
Same thing.
Okay.
We should
Not
find
really,
a place.
but whatever.
We
You
should
can
find
make
a place
victim of
where
yourself.
we should find a place where our presence is not notable.
We're already there.
All right, then. In that case, I'll just trust you guys to find a place. I'm just saying, I say.
Yeah, so for what it's worth, where you guys are at is probably the most diverse section of the city.
Have I noticed anyone, by the way, like smoking something, it smells like tobacco or better, something else?
No, you actually have not. That said, you
That's my
get the
insight
impression that the people who live here couldn't afford those kinds of dalliances.
and my perception. All of a sudden, I roll well. Motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, for what it's worth,
That's actually notable. Look, nobody here has any drugs. Interesting. Nobody here even
Right.
smokes.
Also- for being the bad part of town, you actually haven't seen any evidence of crime. What you have seen are plenty of people with very odd shades of skin, ranging from, literally iridescent copper to, grays and browns and greens. They're all mostly human. You do see a couple of what you would guess are some sort of lizard people.
Right.
Probably dragonborn? Question
Okay.
mark?
Right. Yeah, so this is my insight and my perception, because both of those are good rolls.
Yeah, you realize that, like, the slums are a ghetto.
Where all the diverse people live.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of murmur this as I start mentioning, as it clicks in my head, I'm gonna start saying it to whomever in our party is nearest to me as we walk down the street, because I assume we're walking together.
Yeah, and as Neuro noted, there really aren't streets so much as, like, all of the grasses that would normally grow here in the sandy soil are, like, worn
Tromp
out in
down,
the
yeah.
paths that people take,
Yeah, we're probably following wagon tracks.
No wagon.
No, not even wagon
No.
tracks. We'd be foot trails.
Correct.
Interesting. So that's actually significant that there are no wagon tracks. That's significant.
Yeah, and in fact, there really aren't any businesses for most of your trip. If you guys see that pink circle that I laid down,
Yeah.
that's actually the first place where you see actual, like, evidence of commerce, and it's a fishmonger.
Huh.
But that
That's
makes
the
sense
first, like,
because
storefront?
yeah, but that makes sense in its location, in that that's also very clearly the northern edge of the wharfs and docks. It looks like there are a couple of shipyards there to your eye.
Oh, I see him. This is one.
Okay.
And this is one. I see it.
Uh,
Right.
And then across the street from it is a block of I guess you would call them office buildings, but I mean that's not really accurate for a medieval setting so much as, like, they're obviously the offices of clerks and insurance bondsmen and people who deal with ship captains as a business,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this all has Jory's attention.
But yeah, until you get more towards the middle of the wharf, you don't actually even see, like, taverns and things like that. That's what this cluster of buildings next to the boat actually are. Taverns, a couple of shops selling, clothes and
So we see
canvas
two
and-
shipwrights. Am I saying that right?
That's correct. There are two shipyards there. One of them, the one with the blue roof, is a significantly higher caliber operation.
That would be the Royal Docks, most likely.
More than anything else, that all of a sudden Jory is like, interested. Before I was at first terrified, and then sort of like cynical, and now I'm just like, all right, accepting. If this is how it's going to be, I'm going to play this like I would play this, I guess. Kind of, resentful that I'm playing this character, but all right. Here
So
we
much
are
so
then.
there is an
It's not
inn
even hate. No, it's not even hate. It's oh shit.
There is an inn in this block of buildings, and there is another inn in this block of buildings. But again, these are all like commercial. There's an anchor right. There's a sales tailor. I don't know what you call a sales weaver. But like their support of shipping. There's a few warehouses, things like that.
You guys, what's our food stores? How much food do we have?
We have lots of food. We still have a ton
Days
of
and
boar.
days.
We've
Oh yeah,
cracked-
actually, you guys are carrying around a preserved ass load of boar meat.
Right, and it keeps well in our secret stash, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, cool. I'm just saying
We
don't need to secure food for tonight.
We
should
even
instead find an
technically
inn room.
we even technically have a mushroom that disperses an aura of cold in one of our boxes, and the boar meat in said box. So in theory, even if time passes in the box, it's refrigerated in the
Got it.
box.
That's cool.
Right.
Okay. So what do we know about these inns? Because I think I posit to the group that we're better off in a shared room, as long as it's one that we share together, that isn't a community group room with other people. But if we can all get one or two rooms together, that's dope. However, if we have to get a bunch of little rooms, that's acceptable, but it's better, I think, if we can get bigger rooms. So what do we know about these inns?
So the inn closest to the docks, the diamond rather than the square,
Correct.
is called Coral's Kiss. It seems to cater to foreign sailors.
I like this.
The one south of it is called the Weeping Wind, and it seems to tailor itself to beast people.
Oh shit. Well, maybe. Okay. I'd be probably better
Okay.
off at the south one, but I think we might, as a group, be better off at the north one, and I'm willing to suffer for that. But
Actually, there's half of the group.
just you and me, right?
It's a 50-50 split, sir.
It's fine.
Actually,
I think beast people are chill with having non-beasties, come in.
right. No, my question is about what time are we hitting here? Are we hitting about
It's like 12:30,
noon
isn't
rush?
it?
Yeah, it's about like a little afternoon. It's about midday. And yeah, the docks are fucking bustling.
I'm sure they're bustling.
Yeah, and that street, Harbor Street that runs right down the middle of the like straight from the docks all the way over to that hill, is where you see like literal, wagon and cart traffic and carriages and all sorts of, things moving east to west and west to east, either bringing things for shipment or picking things up that have arrived,
Instead of looking around in awe, I kind of try to give a look as if, like, I've been here before. Like, this is nothing new.
Likewise, my role for survival is like street smarts, and like I'm keeping an eye on our group, keeping us hustled together. Keeping an eye on people,
I
seeing
could
if
roll
they're walking up.
perception.
When we passed the fishmonger, what kind of state were the fish?
Pretty good. Looks like there's a pretty active, fresh fishery. I mean, most of what you saw was probably what was left of yesterday's catch, in that, the boats haven't returned yet. But it was, a day old, not a week old,
Okay.
Jory, everybody seems, pretty chill. However, there is a like undercurrent of I guess you would say fear, apprehension. Like you get the impression that everybody is chill because there would be problems if they weren't. You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
Have we
like
seen the city guard yet?
absent. No, you have not. They
Ooh.
obviously exist. I mean, you've seen evidence of other
Sure.
military elements, but you haven't. But like
Stilted conversation.
missing are the curmudgeon pickpocket kids, the lantern men trying to get the guy off the boat a tour of the city. Do you know what I mean? The
I
like
do.
the little brat is
Are
completely
you
missing.
exactly. Are you from out of town? Hey, I have a good friend that runs a trade house nearby that will
Exactly.
get you the best deals. Yeah, I know what you mean. Or the 3-card Monties. There's no 3-card
Right.
Monties.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna mention this to the crew. You guys notice there's no 3-card Monties? There's no street scams? No street scams at all. Not one person has come up to me and tried to sell me fucking chicle.
I wonder if the material conditions are good enough. People don't have to do any of that crap.
Do I see any
That's
street
not
stalls?
what happens in a real port city. That's not what
But-
happens. No. Real port city.
Where
No.
you're at, yeah, there are like actually to be fair, this area you see street stalls sort of like in this like space specifically. You don't see them like scattered throughout. Looking
I bet what they
down,
sell though is all pretty uniform though, huh?
I mean it's clearly, the stuff that's caught around here, but it's probably prepared in 4 or 5 different ways.
Oh sure, you mean food. I mean goods.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the goods are all very that's actually okay. You know what? I'll give you that one because that's a good insight. Everything is some variation of blue and white or blue and gold that seems to be a prevailing fashion. And all of the let's call it popular material that's selling seems to bear emblems of the Church of Absolution.
Right. So this is all tourist fodder, and it's all accepted tourist fodder. No one here is selling any black market shit. I'm gonna levy that on my my perception of 20 and my what's the other thing I rolled?
And all the street stalls are like
insight.
this? There's
My
none.
insight was 19 and my perception was 18,
The
and then
most
I rolled another
variety,
perception of 20.
yeah, the most variety is actually in food. In terms of
That makes
goods,
sense.
in terms of goods, you know what I mean. There's absent are the kinds of places where you might see the sort of variety that you're expecting. Like there aren't any like pawn shops or anything that you can see here.
No, but
On
there's
the
probably
docks?
But you
there's
haven't
probably
explored
some
the
like
rest of the city.
hey duty free leather goods, like oh look at
Uh,
these shoes,
right.
like these horses.
Most of the industry that you actually have access to here that is not obviously like, hey, we're selling stuff to consumers is more pseudo industrial. It's like, there isn't a tailor, there's a weaver that sells sailcloth material. There isn't a blacksmith, there's an anchorite. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. Oh, these are people
We're
that
still
work.
off the main street from the dock, right? Like we're
Sure
like
enough, sure enough. But these are people that are marketing directly to the industry that is the ships, fishing,
Right. Now,
all that.
that's
But
odd.
there's
There's
also
not a change house.
as you said though, there is a change house, I'm sure. But as Snipe has
He
said,
said there's not.
there isn't actually. You did not see
Oh,
a change house.
interesting. Okay, but there is a group of pop-ups that are selling essentially quote quote goods from across the world that are in fact like not probably local made, but manufactured for trade in the place whence they came from.
Right. Yeah, you totally get it. Yeah. Now, as you approach the Weeping Wind, this sort of like section here, uh, is very obviously like a district established by the city. In that every building you see is some sort of craftsman. So on the east side of the road, you absolutely see things like tailors and leatherwrights and armor smiths and blacksmiths of the more general sense, and silversmiths and people that make paper and people that make ink. Right, like it's very clearly where the craftsmen do business. And in fact, you hear people call it the crafts quarter. At the end of the street, down this way, all of the buildings have a sort of like a different architecture from everything else that you've seen. It looks kind of like it wasn't actually built by the people that live here. Uh, the angles of the roofs are different. Some of them have curves and scallops in them. Some of the walls have, you know, ovoid windows instead of squares. And they're none of them are like no two buildings are alike here. And you realize as you're looking at them that you see,
Nope.
you know, pennants and flags of other places that you haven't seen before.
Look, you guys, this place is multinational.
Right, and you realize that what you're looking at is probably like a foreign quarter, and that if you go to the buildings that have these flags, you're probably going to find an embassy from some other country.
That's funny when you take into account the insight roll.
That's great.
You guys, look, those are all from other places in the world.
Yeah, otherwise,
I'm
you
sorry
know,
to affect the southern accent to my southern viewers.
that's funny.
I'm sorry. I love you. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
But
Love
yeah,
you. I love you, Watts. I love you.
this part of town is basically housing. And it looks like from what you can see that, you know, this section is probably also housing.
I say in my gruffest, most intimidating low voice, let's secure a drink in a room before we find this person.
I agree with this 100%. That said, are we staying in the hoity-toity place, or are we staying in the beast person place? Like
The hoity-toity place. Man, let me explain. Neither of these places are hoity-toity.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing this in the way that people sometimes say, shit, I can't even mock it correctly. You know, where they say that there's like, you know, poor people are the same as white people, right? Is that the way you say that?
I think I get what you're saying. I haven't heard that though.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying is I'm a rabbit person and we're beast people, and apparently we have the beast people hotel and the everyone else hotel, and it's like if it's
There aren't
cool.
any signs that say anything only. There's
No,
just you can tell from the clientele who goes where.
right. They have a special little stable over there. Clearly, they have things on the menu you wouldn't have. You know.
Probably. I mean, actually, the cooking does smell different from that place.
That's all I'm
You
saying
know,
is like I
Watson,
would
I'm sort of
say.
scared to go to the beast person place because our beast person residence is going to say something racist.
I'm sure he'll be hopping to not disappoint you, sir.
I mean, he just
Guys.
called their tavern a stable.
I said there's probably a stable. I said there's probably a stable.
He did. He
I don't
said
want a
there's
stable.
probably a
I want a
stable.
hutch.
Yeah.
He said it's
Hey.
It's not like he said there's going to be hay on the ground like the Ren Fair or something.
Right. And there is hay. There was hay at the ground of the last fucking bar we were at, wasn't there?
I realize I'm losing my aura of intimidation. I just stay silent and stand big.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. When you first pulled that intimidate, when you did your first flex,
Yeah.
You actually heard a couple of people as they walked past you. You know, one of them said, "What do you suppose that's all about?" And the other one said, "Oh, he's probably going to be fighting in the Pugnatorium."
The
In the what?
Pugnatorium.
The Pugnatorium.
The Pugnatorium?
Pugnatorium.
Pugnatorium.
Pugnatorium, as in pugnacious.
Pugnacious Pugnatorium.
Yes.
As
That's
in
the
a
name of
place where there's fisticuffs going to be happening.
Pugnatorium is my next like metal punk band.
Nice.
Like that I mean that okay.
If you had to guess, Verde, they're probably referring to the giant ass stadium that dominates the center of this piece of the city.
Pugnatorium sounds cool.
Most likely there's a lot of fighting going on there.
Yeah, like pugilism.
Pugilist philosopher, I think, was something you were talking about right now.
No, I mean it sounds like a cool way to spend our time after we're done talking to Dude Meister, if we figure out if he's like worth our while or not.
Life at the Pugnatorium.
I'd like to
that Metallica song, right? Pugnatorium.
That's a different one. That's Pugnatorium. Leave me be. If I recall correctly, anyway.
Right, I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
Just leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm sorry.
So we were going to the
sorry.
Beast Person Tavern.
Yeah, I think we should go to
we are.
Beast People Inn.
To be clear, these are inns, not taverns.
Yeah, the Beast People Inn is where we should go.
Typically, if you have one, you have the other.
Right. That is the fantasy
Trope.
cliche, right? Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Well, it's typically also how they subsidize their income.
I advocate for the animal.
Because a lot of places will sell food to make more money.
Right.
And then you're down at the animal inn. Whoa.
Most inns are going to have a common room anyway, and you can make money off of people in your common room if you're selling them food, so you might as well make your common room a tavern.
Right.
I was told recently that the markup on alcohol is just unreal, and that's really the way you should go.
That's kind of a given.
I believe that, yeah.
So, are we going to the animal inn?
Yeah.
Are you going to call it that?
What's the name of the animal inn?
The Weeping Wind.
All right, let's go to the Weeping Wind, you guys.
That's the plan.
I will totally call it the Animal Inn. I will just try not to call it that when I'm not drunk or when I'm drunk. Let's go to the Animal Inn. I think it's called the Weeping Wind. All right, let's go.
The zoo, the kennel, something.
Something. I say, ears twitching. I put them under my hood and throw my hood up.
I'm sure.
When did you drop your hood?
Yeah. Hey, look, tavern music.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Weeping Wind is, well, I won't call it a sleepy tavern because it's not. The folks in it are pretty lively. They seem actually pretty happy. There are beast people of all sorts of shapes and sizes. From big bears down to little live foxes.
I cast my hood back and be like, all right.
Yep, straight up furry tavern, man. That's what's going on here.
I'm happy with this.
Behind the bar stands a really large, like probably 7.5 feet tall, wall of spotted black fur in the form of a leopard man, who regards you guys as you walk in with, I mean, it's a cat, so I guess a smile?
Yeah.
Khajiit has wares if I have coin.
Just shut, please. I say.
Do I recognize what breed of cat is his baseline?
Wow, that was weird. I didn't realize I could do that. That was interesting. Yeah, he's like a jaguar or a panther. Actually, he's got spots, even though they're also black.
Need to refresh my drink.
So probably a black jaguar.
So is he a tabaxi or a different sort of beast person?
A blagwire. It's a blagwire.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a tabaxi, probably, but like it looks a lot more like your classic like Japanese cat person based on a panther.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I figure we'll probably make our way to the counter or find a table.
Find
Yep.
a table with my 6.
Yeah, with your 6. Yeah. So, you missed the nice sleepy out of the way table, but there's a foretop pretty much right there in the center of the room.
Yeah, I
Can we
apparently
not sit?
wouldn't notice that too well. I guess. Oh, yeah. Let's just go there.
Do I see a better one?
Oh yeah, there's absolutely a just like shady corner that nobody's sitting in that it would basically keep most of you out of view.
Yeah, let's use that.
Guys, let's yeah, over this way,
I'm like
please.
just about to sit down, and then it's like, okay.
I
Yeah,
don't.
you guys all sit down. And the dude who you saw behind the counter, the big jaguar dude, steps around his bar, walks up to the table in the corner, and kind of gives you guys an eyeball before he says, "Well, welcome to the Weeping Wind. What can I get you?"
What
A
sort of?
stiff drink.
Yeah, what sort of drinks do you have?
Actually, sir, before you get me a stiff drink, I would like to secure a room. Do you have like rooms for let for at least the evening?
Yeah, he nods and he looks at you and he says, "For all of you, or?"
Yeah.
If you have a room that we all would fit in, that would be ideal. However, if we have to split the crew up, I understand.
Well, normally it'd be 2 silver a night, but I'll tell you what. I'll give you guys the big room for 5.
5 silver, you say?
5 silver a night. Yeah.
Let me double check. What is it that I have in my own personal treasury?
What do you have? Inventory. You have 24 silver on you.
Oh, yeah, I will immediately say, that's done. That's a great idea. I would like to keep us all together if I could.
All right. He kind of like looks at you like, well, that sounds like a reasonable thing for a party of adventurers.
Should I pay you now, or should we open a tab?
Well, I'd
We
prefer
paid.
that you pay me for the night.
All right, I'll do that. And how do I just take my little tablet and do I know how that works yet?
I mean, you have physical coins.
All right, I will just pay him. I'll just drop them into his hand. That's for all of us. I think we're probably going to want to eat and drink, though the room should be secured first. Just in case. You know how that is.
He's the nervous sort. What's the lunch special?
Look, if I black out, I want to make sure I can sleep till the morning and no one's going to rouse me.
Fair
That's
enough.
fair.
When you say what the special is, he smiles and he says, "It's actually my favorite. It's taverfish today."
Oh, that sounds delicious. What's it paired with, or is it just the fish?
Oh well, it's he stops for a second and he says, "Have you never had taverfish?"
No.
Oh, my friend, then you're in for a treat. Please allow me.
I love good food. Please share.
Yep, and he like immediately
I
turns
think we are
around.
glad to have found your inn, sir. We just breezed in.
Yeah, he doesn't even hear you say it. He immediately turns around and heads
Nice.
up behind the counter and into the kitchen. He disappears not for particularly long, which implies that whatever the taver fish is, it's clearly already prepared. And comes back out holding 2 bowls in each massive pawed hand. And puts 4 bowls of what is very clearly some sort of like spiced, super aromatic like chowder. Though it's like a reddish brown. The fish meat though is like yellow. The whole thing though has this like almost like a licorice smell to it. Like licorice and like the savory smell of fish, and like it's really aromatic.
Intriguing. I will look to make sure that no one else has grabbed a bowl, and then I'll take one if no one else does.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've already, I already had a bowl, and I was like already looking at it, like smelling it, and oh, this looks and
Yeah,
smells
he
delicious.
Produces 4 wooden spoons from a pocket and puts them on the table for you. And he says,
Oh,
"Please."
by the way, how much do I owe you?
Oh no. If you've never had tablefish, please allow me to introduce you.
Oh, is that
Excellent,
so?
thank you, my friend. It's great to see fellow people of good food. A good meal can make the difference in all the day.
Yeah, he smiles, bearing a couple of very long and sharp fangs at you in the process. So you can tell from the twinkle in his eye that he's obviously happy.
Hey,
This is also a beast person, clearly.
I've gotta ask, do the blacksmiths and armorers and such in the area work with the amazing proportions of the folks that would attend here?
He he does the hand on his chin thing for a second, and he says, "Well, there are a few smiths I'd recommend in the crafts quarter. That said, it's not really the place to find exquisite work for people of and he looks down at himself, my size. For that, you'd probably want to head east."
Am I
East
his
in the
size?
city or east?
Oh no, much further than that, my friend.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, even something, it'll be a thing. A certain orangutan friend of sorts.
What about a certain rabbit friend of sorts?
Oh, well, I mean, what sort of custom weaponry or armor are you looking to get?
Well, just something,
I mean, you
I would
chock
like-
full
I
of
would like
weapons
the best.
already.
Sure, my weapons are fine, but my armor, perhaps.
I'm sure we can find you a good set of leather. Also, my friend, this is delicious.
I wear chainmail. I'm just saying, perhaps there's something,
I love a good chowder, and they're so hard to fix properly without it going, at least where I'm from, they always turn out gummy, which is,
So-
unless it's done right.
He
I'm
nods.
gonna-
He says, the
Old
secret
fish.
is it's not actually milk. It comes from and he describes to you a coconut.
Oh,
Delicious.
Oh, okay.
it's a
I
curry.
guess I'm gonna try to figure out what are the sort of spices and flavors that would appeal to different beasts. Like, what range of beasts would enjoy them?
Yeah. So you would guess that this has primarily been a dish developed by carnivores, in that everything is about bringing out the savory flavor of the fish. It's probably a cat person recipe even.
Well,
given
he
that there
has
isn't a
fangs,
lot of
little cat fangs, right?
there is the dude's a 7-foot tall panther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there isn't a lot of sweet in it. There's what you would guess is anise. But that's the sweetest note in the whole dish. It's
Probably
mostly
something-
salty and savory.
Probably
Gotcha.
something like Thai basil.
Okay.
Thai
Yeah,
basil is
kinda,
also
yeah.
kind of an anise flavor. Okay, well, I have a question for you, Dungeon Master, sir.
Sure.
Not exactly table talk, kind of table talk. Ombois fucking loves Thai curry.
Oh yeah, you would love the shit out of this, dude.
Right. Jory's a rabbit. So when I eat this food, do I go, oh, fucking weird, I can't eat this, my stomach's
We've
hurting.
been through this.
Yeah, no, you can eat it just fine.
All right, well, that's rad.
I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Hopefully everything comes out okay.
Hopefully.
We're all getting that Asian stage. That is a genuine concern, bro.
Actually, Verde and I had some fucking wicked Thai tonight for dinner.
Yeah, you were saying about that. That sounds delicious.
It was ridiculous. Yeah, this place is
How much was it per
downstairs in our
plate?
building. So each of our entrees was in the $20 to $25. I think his was $23 and mine was $19. But then we also shared appetizer that was I don't know, how many mussels do you think were there? 12, 14 maybe. There was a bunch of mussels with chili sauce and garlic sauce and shit that we shared. That was also 19.
Okay.
I'm so jealous of you that you're
Yeah.
actually able to get that fresh, because I hate the fact I live in a land-bound state.
Not only fresh, it's actually scary because it's not only fresh, it's literally in the building. I hit one on the elevator, and if it's enough before 9 p.m., I can walk in and say, "Give me the Thai food that is delicious," and they
Yeah,
will.
and the Thai food literally comes from the bay that is like in walking distance.
And the other thing is, there's a beer tap that has 18, 20 different taps over at the other side of the park that I get 15% off because I live in this tower, that I can also just wander into anytime before midnight and be like, "I would like a beer," and they will be like, "It is 15% off for you, sir. Love you." And I'll be like, "Give me the beer," and they'll be like, "Here is the beer," and I will have it. And their beer is yummy. Their pale ale, fucking delicious.
Sounds good. I mean, yeah, what is fresh? Like pale ales and IPAs and stuff are just dynamite.
Right. And it's so good. And it's just like I can just walk across. I don't have to drive anywhere. I walk across the park and walk in. And if it's before midnight, I go, "Hello, I would like a beer." And they're like, "Hello, you like this beer, huh?" And I go, "Yes, please." And they're like, 15% off for you, sir. And I'm like, "Love your beer." So yummy. And if it's before what, 9 or 10? It's 10, right? They have a fucking kitchen where you can get food.
Nice.
Right. It's really scary. It's like, oh, all the money I could spend at your little bar here. So easy. And then downstairs, it's like Monday is jazz, Tuesday is poetry. Fucking Wednesday, you don't go there. Wednesday, you go 3 blocks up to Basic Bar, because Basic Bar on Wednesday nights has a pop up art gallery. So you go to Basic on Wednesday and get a $28 small pizza, but a small pizza is actually big enough to feed like two, maybe 2.5 people, depending on who you are. But it's $28 for like a specialty. But you know, it's
Not
really
that bad.
fucking good. It's really good. And then there's a pop up like art gallery, which is dope. And then Thursday you can go over to the fucking court, which is like a block and
Nice.
a half over. And the courtyard is also a tap that has a pop up night market on Thursday nights where they sell art and also food and also weird shit. It's like, it's crazy. Living in the city's crazy shit, man. Not
The swap
bad.
meet, they sell clothes too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a night market.
Yeah, that's cool.
They sell all sorts of weird shit. It's like if you're bored any night of the week, it's cool. Somewhere within 3 blocks of here, there's something dope going on. I can just drag you there. It's cool. I started marking it on the calendar and then realized that was silly because it was like there's something every night of the week. It's just where you gonna go.
Totally.
What was the name of this guy we were supposed to meet again?
Bias. The name was
Bias.
Captain Bias.
I
Captain Bias.
I look to our hospitaller with my helmet. You know,
Right.
Were we told what building he was in by chance, or just the name?
The Hanging Citadel.
and I ask him, where might we find the
The
Hanging Citadel?
He hesitates a moment, sort of looking at you again, and then he says, "Well, I mean, you no doubt saw it on your way into town. It hangs on the side of the hill by the palace. It's hard to miss."
I raise a metallic eyebrow.
He says, "Getting into the yards, though, that's an entirely different story. What do you need there?
We are couriers.
Oh,
Currently, we are seeking a meal and beer.
oh, well, I can certainly help you there, my friend. If you're couriers, though, I'm certain you have a solution to your other problem all on your own.
Yeah, we came off the main road, not we came from the ocean, not from the main road, so we didn't actually see the hanging citadel. That's why we were asking.
I'm holding back my laughter as
Uh,
best I can.
He nods as you say that, though you could see that he's, if he had eyebrows, he would be Spock eyebrowing you right now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm standing back from the party, just like flexing and being like, "No, I'm a paladin." Actually, more like I'm a monk, because really I'm not a paladin. I just chose paladin because that was, I
Right.
guess. I guess. So I'm flexing like a monk.
What kind of people hang out in the hanging citadel?
Soldiers mostly.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Since we're new in town, is there any area that we should definitely make sure we avoid? I try to avoid trouble if I can.
Yes, definitely.
He thinks about it for a second. He does the hand on the chin thing again, kind of rubbing the fur there. And he says, "Well, honestly, Gallander's a pretty peaceful city. Hard not to be at all. But I suppose if I was going to avoid any place in town, it would be either Tideswallow or the Grimsword."
Well, the Grimsword's probably like, are there signs? Does it say now entering the Grimsword? Like, how would we know?
That's not its real name. In fact, the cluster of buildings that we call the Grimm's Ward is not any kind of ward at all on any sort of legal paperwork or declaration, but people need a place to live, and so they do.
Sure, I get it. It's Barrio Grimsword, sure.
Checks out. And what of the Pugitorium?
The
The
Pugitorium is that,
Pugnatorium?
yeah, that's that big place in the middle of town
Pungitorium?
there, man. We already went over this. That's that big place in the middle of town.
Well, yeah. But is it welcoming for
What, a day tripper? You just want to show up, throw down, a couple shillings. What is it, shillings? Whatever, a couple coins,
Coppers, yeah.
and then be
No,
like,
they do.
I'm down for the day, and then throw in, and then
Yeah.
cash out at the end. What do you think? Come on,
He says,
what
he
world
says-
is this?
He lights up when you mention the Pugnatorium. He says, "Aha, a fellow connoisseur of the fighting arts, I see. The action's good there, my friend. The action's good. Though, are you looking to participate yourself?"
Yes.
Oh, you want to go roll? I say.
Well, you'll have to tell me your name. I'll put some coin down on you.
Yikes, man.
YOLO, the barbarian.
Nice. He holds out his hand and he says, "I'm Growth. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. And I shake it.
Good luck to you if you're going to be fighting at the Pugnatorium. It's not an easy arena."
I'll
we
try to
should
find
probably
time for it.
We should probably go like watch a few rounds before you jump in there, bro.
Right, no, it's great. They do killer carts on Tuesdays. It's amazing.
Right. It's awesome, man.
Absolutely not. I want to experience it with surprise. You may watch my first.
How much did we hang out before this game session? Or are we a local game shop crew, or are we a friends
Just
from
friends,
high school crew?
remember?
Again,
Yep, just
we're
friends.
friends.
We're us, bro.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, I would feel really tight about like some friends from high school, but if we were just friends from the local game shop, I might let you be stupid.
No, we're us.
Yeah, in that case, I think we should probably like watch a couple rounds at the arena before you like jump in, bro.
Definitely.
I mean, where's the fun in that?
Now fighting in round 1 of Man versus Dragon, it's YOLO.
Right? You see what I'm saying? Like, we should probably like before you throw in, like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. We should probably, watch some other fucking fools do it. I say, like, not at all cynically, being like accepting. I'm moving through the stages of grief. I think I'm coming to acceptance. This is where we are now.
But what about surprise?
Oh, dude, I'm through that.
And I mean, it's an arena. I'm sure there's like a vote for whether or not you actually get killed or not if you give up.
Whom are you sure?
Rolf?
Oh, well, when the matches come to that, sure, absolutely. I mean, it's not like, you could just murder someone.
See, it's not like you can just murder somebody.
Of course,
It's not exactly
most
what he
deaths
said.
are sudden in the arena.
Right. Right. Very sudden. Abrupt, my mother would say. Abrupt.
Do you have to take a medical exam before you get into the arena?
No.
Good.
What are the rules on shapeshifters?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I say.
Just-
I'm like, I
just
just start
wondering,
stomping around. My god, like throwing fucking dust in the air. You guys.
I just was.
What even
wondering.
are we doing in this
Shush,
world? What
just-
even is our point?
Let him
Uh,
answer.
Yeah, Grouse says, well, there is a league for the Spellblades and the like. I admit I don't find those fights quite as fun as the natural fights, but there is a league where such abilities would be accepted.
Kurzap.
Gotcha.
You could tell from the way he said it that he kind of feels like that's the Cheaters League.
Right, where they actually use magic and shit.
So I actually
Yeah.
have a question about that league.
Yeah.
What would happen if somebody physically capable came into that league who also had some minor technical magical capability?
Oh, it happens. That's actually a pretty common strategy. It's a favorite tactic of certain types of warlocks, for example.
Interesting. I was just wondering, how nerdy the clientele are.
The real problem is that most fights in that league start at a distance. So if you rely on melee, you're at a disadvantage from the opening of the fight on to the point where you can close.
Oh, makes a lot of sense, of course.
Well, I could see someone throwing a dagger at distance.
Oh, certainly. He nods enthusiastically. He's like, oh yes. In fact, one particular match, the actual deciding weapon was a small crossbow that they had hidden on their person.
Was
Turns
it
out it
considered a
doesn't
good
take much
fight?
to sever a throat.
We have to boof our weapons into the fight.
No. You can use anything that you carry with you, which has led to some really interesting fights, I suppose. Like the Mages League is pretty popular, he admits, but it feels so, and he like struggles around, like you could tell he feels like it's like pro wrestling. You know what I mean?
It's like watching
Well,
an archer shoot off to see who is the better archer. It's cool to watch, but it's not really. It's not a fight in the normal sense of the word fight.
So the only reason why I asked, dear friend, is because if I am going to participate in it, I wouldn't want some accidental disqualifications. I mostly like to pummel things with weapons in my fists. Any real weapon is a great weapon. But I enter a religious rage from time to time, and I don't know if that's considered magic or not.
Ah, I see, he says. No, generally berserkers are allowed in the natural league.
Nah. Good.
He smiles when you say that, and he says, "It's honestly the better league. The true work of a craftsman should be appreciated. It's not some flashy display of fireworks."
Hmm. I'll have to remember that in the midst of a rage. Those can end quite abruptly like fireworks. I have a feeling that that has even grown. I look to my party members who have seen me rage once, but I feel as if it has grown,
I was going to say that was a pretty mundane rage, all things considered.
right?
Agreed. It really was less a rage than, a rage-ish. A
Well, you
rage
just
light.
hadn't really grown into it, you
A
know.
rage light.
A rage like
You ever
that's
play a
my
rage
like
light?
under the Berlin interpretation, you know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Under the Berlin interpretation, it was a rage light.
All right, so we're gonna pregame. We're gonna get sloshed, and then present ourselves as couriers to
That's
the
one does.
Hanging Fortress. Floating Fortress, the Hanging Fortress,
Hanging Citadel. Yep.
the Hanging Citadel. Oh yeah, Phalion is
111,
AFK
make
for
a
1 moment.
wish.
Well, yeah, it's probably late enough that we can call it a night here too, for what it's worth.
Make a wish. Oh shit.
QQ, I hear you though.
They-
Oh, we kind of like cut it off before he actually gave you the answer. Oh, I'll wait for Nero actually, because he was one of the people who wanted to know.
He is back.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So he does know a couple of smiths in the city who can handle special order weapons for people of unusual proportions. One of them is a dude named Graventhorpe, the ogre. And the other is a woman named Hastelin, who is an elven smith.
Grimthorpe and Hesselin.
Hestelin.
Hesselin.
Good enough.
Hestelin. Like Hestia.
Hestelin. You only got to say the T, yeah. Hestelin. But I bet you it's Hesselin. I bet you it's like a dialect. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. Totally. Yep. If you actually say it right with the right accent, there isn't actually a T there at all. It's sort of like the impression of a T,
Correct. It's like Hesselin.
like a glottal stop instead of a T. You know.
Hestelin. Indeed.
Well, thank you, Dungeon Master Sama.
All of that for sure.
Indeed. Thanks for playing, everybody.
Thanks for being a dungeon master, sir. Sama.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah.
I take
And
it you
yeah,
guys
welcome
decided
to,
you were wrapping up.
Yeah. It's late.
It is.
To anybody else, please like, subscribe, follow, all the things, press the buttons that make the things happen, even if you're watching this post, whatever. Like, hey, I like the beer money.
Who doesn't? Question mark.
Right? I love it when I get an email that's like, hey, we sent you a check. I'm like, sick.
Nice.
Yeah, those don't happen that often.
It really
Oh,
doesn't
right.
happen that often, but, when it does, so love ya, mean it. Thanks for all that. This
Cheers.
has been another joint night. Yes, cheers.
See you later, everybody.
Yep. Night, everybody.